Welcome everyone back to another series of Blade and Soul Korea Wild Cards. We're here for part 2, the last part of the day. We're actually going to see the 4 teams duke it out to see who's going to get the last third spot in the World Championship, because there's not many games away to really decide that. My name is Joe Sovey along with Ending Life here. I hope you guys had a good break for that 3 hours about having the rest. I know, Ending, you got a pretty good rest while I was tempted by the PC Cafe at OGN on top floor. It was too tempting. It was a fun time, but I think I should have rested a little bit. But
I hope you enjoyed yourself.
Nonetheless, we are back, and we're back here to give you more Blade and Soul. And more importantly, we're going to be deciding from the 4 teams that have made it up from the first round we saw in that first part of the day. We're going to be seeing those 4 teams duke it out to see who's going to be the last team remaining going to the World Championship.
Yeah, the first matchup will be Coup d'etat versus Oh Yeah, and you know, we saw Coup d'etat sweep the new team CSK, but Oh Yeah isn't a new team. They have been up against Coup d'etat, and Oh Yeah have been up against each other before. So, you know, right now on the screen we do have today's matchups, and today now we have 3 matches left, and they're all going to be best out of 7s now.
Yep, and the semifinals that you see here are the teams, the 8 teams who have faced off in the first part of our day. Now there are 4 teams remaining, and it's going to be Coup d'etat versus Oh Yeah for the first match, and G-Touring and IDEPS will finish us off for the semifinals, and straight after that we're going to have a short break and come back to the winners of both of those matches, and we're going to decide the final team to go to the World Championship. So, like I said, this is the prize pool here, but like I said before, from the very beginning of this broadcast today, they're not interested in the money. They're really interested in that first prize, which is way beyond any type of monetary rewards that you could get in this last third spot in the World Championship. And this team, all these 4 teams that are left remaining, they're really not worried about money, and they're just really going for that to represent themselves in the best of ways.
Yeah, exactly. Placing first and going to the World Championship main event is actually a big deal for any of these teams, rather than getting, you know, like around roughly $2,000.
Yeah, sure.
$20,000, not $2,000.
Just a scrub.
Yeah, like to them, like playing second, third, or fourth, like they do get the, you know, congrats, you've participated but didn't make it first kind of money for them.
It's like a reconciliation for, you know, for
Exactly.
participating in this, and thank you for participating. Here's $2,000.
Yeah, exactly. So, well, it's not $2,000. Like if they do play second, it's $20,000. Yeah, $20,000. But you know, for them, you know, getting that $20,000 and not being able to participate in, you know, Worlds, it's better for them to make it up into the Worlds and get more fame, get more face time, and even have a chance at a higher prize pool, a bigger prize pool, and you know, maybe, you know, some of them, you know, stream, and like when they make it to Worlds, they get more fame.
Definitely.
Yeah, so like it's better for them all around to just place first and make it into World Champion.
I mean, as a professional gamer that they are, you know, it's not really just about the money and just getting more exposure, and a lot more viewers will join us for the World Championship, and you know, getting yourself known through a lot more variety of viewers. I think is a lot important for these professional gamers that they are. So, first prize is what everybody's looking for here. All 4 teams, they really do believe they all have an equal chance of getting this, although the heavy favorites are still considered to be Coup d'etat and IDEPS. The other 2 teams may surprise us.
Yeah, and like you said, the first match is going to be Coup d'etat versus Oh Yeah, and you know, Coup d'etat is one of the teams that are, you know, expected to make it up either Coup d'etat or with IDEPS. However, like I said before, Oh Yeah and G-Touring aren't new teams that, you know, made it up here by luck. You know, they do have the team chemistry, teamwork that they have been building up throughout the previous seasons. Even G-Touring, it's been 3 years since they've been staying together, except for that one-man roster change. Same goes with Coup d'etat. But, you know, it's all going to show up today, and today is the last chance to show it, because if you don't show it, you're not going to make it.
And Coup d'etat, if you saw some of the first game of the day, they showed a very routine performance against CSK, but definitely Oh Yeah is a very different beast that they have to face up with. If they play the same way that they played against CSK, they might really make a baffle for themselves, so they don't want to do that. So the first game being Coup d'etat versus CSK, we're going to go to the I don't think we'll have a team interview once again, because it's going to be the same thing, so we're probably going to move right on to the matches. But it's importantly, we have to kind of remind you guys once again, this will be a best of 7, so it won't be the short best of 4s that we saw in the first part of today's matches. But more importantly, we have to talk about some of the things that, you know, these teams are really facing, you know, going up in these matches. I mean, Coup d'etat, they had to face off against CSK and had a very easy performance to get the win to get here. But Ouya had to play a lot harder to win out against the team visual that we saw in the early parts of the day. And it's just all about whether Coup d'etat will play at the same mindset heading towards Ouya, or whether they will have a fresh new mindset. Because they will be against a tougher opponent. It's going to be very interesting to face.
Yeah, I hope that, like you said, Joe, Coup d'etat, since they had such an easy matchup in the first round, I hope they're not too laid back and going up against Ouya. Because, like, you know, Ouya isn't a new team. They probably aren't as good. They aren't as good as Coup d'etat if they're all both playing at the highest level, at their full potential. Coup d'etat is probably better overall. However, if they're laid back because they had such an easy round the first round, Ouya might come up and show us and give us a twist.
And in addition to that, one of the players that I really kind of recognized from the previous Ouya match was Sang-Hoon Lee on the Assassin, because the team visual really showed strength around Yongjin Shin, which we really expected him to do well, and which he did in the singles. But coming onto the tag, Sang-Hoon Lee really showed a different class of Assassin that we didn't see from him back in the Korea finals. So, you know, going back to that sense, Sang-Hoon Lee was a bit of a surprise for me, and just really hoping that he extends that performance that he showed in the first part of the day. If he can do that against Coup d'etat, I think it's going to catch a lot of these players by surprise.
Yeah, exactly. And, you know, it just seems like Ouya was a better team player compared to Visual. Since Visual, even though they did have Min Jung-ho and Young-Won Sin, you know, their team composition, their team play wasn't as good as we expected from their skill level. But like, regardless of their singles, their tag was pretty solid, considering, you know, we were thinking, you know, they're good, but they're not a top tier team.
We never said they were great.
Yeah,
that's true.
They're not great, but they're good. But, you know, today, showing us during the tag, you know, that they've been practicing. It showed that they've been practicing today. So let's see what they can show us against Coup d'etat.
And Coup d'etat, the key player, I don't know if they'll show us on the screen. That it is right there. This is the player I also want to talk about.
He has to do well.
Byung Kim is a player that really needs to perform, because we say this time and time again. The only reason I believe that Coup d'etat isn't reaching to the top low, and the only reason that they're actually in the wild cards in the first place, is the fact that Byung Kim had a hard time adjusting to this new team, and for the other two teammates of Coup d'etat to really adjust to him as well. Because all these counter interactions that we've been seeing with these three players have been lackluster, to say the least. And Ouya is one of those opponents that really gets that opponent level to the next level for Team Coup d'etat, because they have to beat out Ouya, and they have to beat out the next team that will come to the finals to make themselves representing in the World Championship. But this is their first hurdle to get that done.
Yeah, exactly. And regardless of who wins this first round and who wins the second round, for both of the winners of Group A and B, it's just going to get harder, because on Group B, we have IDEPS and G-Touring, which both are veteran teams. Same with Group A. However, like we said before, Coup d'etat is more of a favorable team to win and, you know, move up. But it doesn't matter who wins. Like I said, it's just gonna get harder and harder to take that last spot for World Champion.
And it is still, although we're trying to say good things about it would definitely be a surprise if Coup d'etat does lose out this one, because we expect them to win this entire wildcards tournament and really just make themselves known as that third team from Korea, which is wouldn't be any surprise to us if we began the day knowing that fact. But what is that a graphical error by any chance?
Shinhancard Kim
on the Assassin is what we're seeing on visuals. I'm still not believing this fact until I see it in game. But it's gonna be Sang-Hoon Lee versus Shinhancard Kim. Assassin mirror match.
No, Sang-Hoon Lee was on the KFN.
You really?
Yeah, really.
So Sang-Hoon Lee, I see on the paper here, he is registered on the KFM as his third priority. And he just really wanted to play that against Shinhancard Kim. And we're trying to get to the loading screen, guys, and we're trying to confirm for you whether Shinhancard Kim is going to play Assassin. Have you ever seen Shinhancard Kim play Assassin before?
I haven't seen him play Assassin on the tournaments officially. But, yeah, we'll have to see.
Game 1 will begin. Shinhan Kim on the assassin is a question mark until we begin. I'm still not going to believe it until I see it. I'm going to just hope that OGN made a mistake here with the visual, but I'm going to be even more surprised if Shinhan Kim does play the assassin. We're going to get the Game 1 going right underway. Let's get it on. Oh my!
Okay, this is real. This is real.
This is a true situation happening. Shinhan Kim.
Yep.
Shinhan
Kim.
If I'm not mistaken, that is the assassin logo, and Shinhan Kim is playing the assassin. He has the assassin weapon. He's going for it. So,
Yep.
clarification for you guys: Shinhan Kim is officially playing the assassin in a blade and soul tournament.
Yep, exactly. I have seen him play the Blade Dancer. I have seen him play the Warlock, the Soul Fighter. Never an assassin on this offline tournament.
And he is playing against an assassin main of
Yeah.
Samwon Lee, but Samwon Lee, to our surprise, even more is going with the KFM instead of the assassin that we usually see him with. Now, I want to really ask you about, how this pick came along, because it seems like Samwon Lee, if he was to try to go for the assassin, which he probably should have expected to, would it have been a tough matchup going with the Soul Fighter?
Well, like, I guess Soul Fighter versus an assassin, the assassin has a better edge. That might be one of the reasons why, because now Shinhan Kim, he's basically acknowledging Samwon Lee's assassin plays for him to switch off to another character, and he is just beating him down.
You're not even going to finish your discussion because it's because Shinhan Kim's going to finish him up with the poison breath, and
Look at him.
he's such a troll. Look at him, just laughing in disgrace over Samwon Lee. Samwon Lee is not believing the situation. Probably the last thing he expected out of Shinhan Kim was for him to play the assassin, and he got defeated by. Look at that troll face. He's definitely trolling, and he just won, hands down.
But you know what he won?
It's all about the result, and he did get the victory.
And like that might not be the troll face. He might just be happy that he won against an assassin player when he was playing the assassin.
Definitely a troll face. I'm gonna give 1 vote towards that. That was a lot of play. Going for this game, and we did not expect him to play the assassin. He just literally dominated Samwon Lee from every edge.
Yeah.
Eventually got the KO before you could finish your sentence.
Yeah, I was actually trying to answer your question, but it was like so much was going down with Shinhan Kim's assassin that I had to just mention that it was almost over.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, well played on Shinhan Kim. Unfortunately for Samwon Lee, he has given Kureta.
Definitely one of the fans really happy for Shinhan Kim playing the assassin, and Shinhan Kim should feel very happy for himself as well, being able to play masterfully on any class that he literally puts his hands on, and the assassin down on the track and got on his checklist, and it's down. Just won another win, and Kureta is up 1-0.
Yep, and be aware, guys, this is best out of 7, first team to 6 points. So I guess, they shouldn't feel too bad, because this is just the start. We have many more sets to go. And this is the second set, and we will have Byung-Woo Kim's Blade Dancer finally coming out for singles against Jae-Yu Kim's Warlock.
I mean, the best of 4 that we saw in the first part of the day, Kureta did not use Byung-Woo Kim as one of the singles participants, and Byung-Woo Kim is going to make his appearance for Game 2 here. And this is against a very... we have to say Byung-Woo Kim because we don't know too much about him. We don't know about his current state. We saw a little bit of state of him from Game 3 in the tag match from earlier, but it's not really a good indication when you're facing off against CSK. So, when you have a lot of question marks about Byung-Woo Kim and he still hasn't answered to the full potential, you would like to see him really make a statement here.
Exactly. This is a spot. OYA is a team to make their statement because they are not a rookie team. They're still a veteran team.
And we're going to go on to Game 2 to see whether Byung-Woo Kim can really prove himself in this match 2, coming right your way against Jae-Yu Kim on the Warlock. Let's get the match underway. Let's get it on. Going with Game 2 between Kureta and Oya, and it's Byung-Woo Kim, the Blade Dancer against Jae-Yu Kim on the Warlock.
They still haven't made their first move yet. Nothing has landed. There we go. Knockdown.
Yeah, man. Made the first initial strike.
Right.
That
Tab escape was used by the Warlock first.
There's not the familiar. Not much to do there, but Jae Kim.
Jae Kim wants to make his first move after using his tab before he uses the time distortion, because he just doesn't want to use time distortion just for that tab escape. He wants to use some of his skills, pour it out, and then use it maybe for a combo or maybe to take out Byung-Woo Kim's tab escape as well. But he gets knocked down again.
Yeah, and that's going to be a chance that he couldn't use the time distortion. Now he won't have that escape available if he chooses to use it. Be a bad situation for Jae Kim, because if he had used that time distortion earlier, like you said, he would have had that escape available to negate a little bit more damage than what he took.
No, but right now, it's good that he's alive with just with enough health and not using time distortion, because now he can use it now very soon.
If he chooses to do so, I think he's just looking for a little bit more distance to make that done. But Byung-Woo Kim going pretty aggressively against this Warlock and not really giving him any room to make that work. The time distortion finally comes through. Now he will be having to use that escape, which he does. Jae Kim really low on resources. He doesn't have the time distortion. It's on cooldown along with his escape that if he chooses to use it.
Yeah, if you have noticed, Jae Kim hasn't been able to make Byung-Woo Kim use his escape yet, so which means Byung-Woo Kim is just dominating this match overall, even though the health bar is the same. Like the play, look at this. The play style is the skill level is different right now.
Just seems like Byung-Woo Kim is definitely one step ahead of Jae Kim at every single scenario.
Another knockdown going in.
Another stun going up into the aerial, and there's not a chance for Byung-Woo Kim to react. Byung-Woo Kim is going to get onto the second aerial. He has no escape to go it.
Okay, back roll.
And this will be over, and Byung-Woo Kim picks up the second win. Easy win for Coup d'etat once again. Coup d'etat looking very strong. I didn't find myself saying that sentence many times for Coup d'etat during Korea Finals, nor the entire 2017 season, but in this wild cards that they have prepared for, it seems like a much stronger Coup d'etat team. And even in the interview, they talked about how they have prepared and they're in this rebuilding process. Now they're in a little bit more of a perfectionist state, is what they describe themselves as. And I think I would kind of just have to agree with them in some parts of that.
Yeah, they are proving themselves. It's not all words, it's not all talk. And if you notice this match, you know, in the beginning, it seemed like it was going slow because the health bar, after Jae Kim took that much damage, it was maybe almost a full minute when, you know, where both of them didn't take too much damage until like last 1 minute where, you know, Byung-Woo Kim finished him off. But if you notice that Byung-Woo Kim used his first tab escape after making Jae Kim use his escape twice.
Safety.
So yeah, so if you notice that, the way usually if two players are on a similar level, they would trade escapes.
That's true.
They would trade CCs. But right now with this matchup, Byung-Woo Kim was just going all in. It was basically kind of one-sided until the end, forcing Jae Kim to use his time distortion, use his tab escape twice. Even with his body swap, Byung-Woo Kim just used one tab escape.
And the thing about Jae Kim was that he performed actually pretty decently in the first game of the series back in the early parts of today, but Jae Kim looked dominated against Byung-Woo Kim, and Byung-Woo Kim, as much as he had to prove, I think he did a good parts of that in this especially match that we saw in the second game. But, you know, we have to talk about, you know, Byung-Woo Kim in the long run, and because he's not done here. This is not the last stage that he's going to perform on. If he does make it with his other two teammates to represent Korea in the World Championship, he's going to have to do a lot further, and we're going to have to see, you know, one stage at a time of Byung-Woo Kim evolving to that state that we want.
Let's hope he does. And now we will be getting ready for our third match, which will be tag worth 2 points. Right now, Coup d'etat is up 2-0. If they take this matchup, they will be 4-0. And oh yeah, they have to stop this momentum before they get swept.
I personally wanted Shinhancard to play the assassin again, but the troll within me was not satisfied on that one, because he's going back to the Warlock, a very safety pick and very necessary pick for the team composition that we usually like to see. So Shinhancard going back on the Warlock, and I guess this time, so winning out this next match here in Game 3 is going to give them 4 points already to begin out the series, and you do need 6 points to win out. So if they do manage to win out every single game, they're going to have a very clean sweep. But whether that starts or begins, we're going to have to see. Game 3 between Coup d'etat, and oh yeah, we'll get underway. Let's get it on. 3 between Coup d'etat and and Shinhancard is going to begin
On the Warlock.
the Warlock. And it is true, and we saw that on the loading screen coming up to this, but Shinhancard trying to make this work with the Warlock. This time he's not going on the Assassin.
But to be honest, when Shinhancard plays a Warlock, I want to say personally that he's on serious mode.
Yeah.
Not that when he's playing with the Soul Fighter or any other character that he's not on the serious mode. But Warlock is one of his really good classes that he's never performed badly with. So he is on the Warlock right now.
We see him at times going with the other classes. It just seems like he doesn't enjoy playing the Warlock as much as the other classes. I think that's the right clarification we have to make. But when the win is necessary, he does go with the Warlock and usually gets good results off of it. And Sang Lee getting hammered by Shinhancard in game 1. Wants to get a revenge with his Assassin. Not finding much room, puts in a little damage, and Shinhancard is out of his escapes for now. So.
But he does have his body swap, so as long as the familiar is out and alive, he still has that secondary escape, and he is making his offensive move right now!
That is a lot of damage coming in from Shinhancard onto Sang Lee. Sang Lee really has to be careful at every moment because just one series of damage could knock you off into 50% health.
Alright.
Hyogo Kwon does come in for the offensive interfere.
Body swap and his tab escape has been used by Shinhancard, and that spear looking bug, I love that. Every time it comes out, it looks like it makes the character look stronger.
Definitely does not add any strength
it doesn't.
Whatsoever, but it does look visually very attractive. And Yeon is going to come in for Coup d'etat. Shinhancard already using the first tag point along with Sang Lee using his as well. So Jae Kim is back out on the field.
So exactly the same amount of resource has been used. 2 interferes and 1 tag on each side.
Yeah.
Let's see Kim making his move onto Jayu. The defensive interfere comes in.
Yep, and not much getting done. It's actually getting him to another area. Fantastic move by Kim to get that done, even through the defensive interfere. Shinhancard tried to come in, trying to go for the offensive interfere to put in more damage on that good opportunity, but not much damage realistically coming from there.
Kim is waiting for that champion to go away, but that familiar has been spawned.
Yeah, and Jae Kim. He went against Kim early in game 2 and didn't win out. Looks like it's the same thing happening again. The familiar trying to help him out. This gets him up in the air. The time distortion is gonna pull him back.
Yep, Kim backs away. He's gonna wait for his cooldowns and make Jayu use his escape once again to force him to tag out. But there's only 20 seconds left to do that.
Another aerial. I think Kim has him figured out, and Jae Kim doesn't have any answer. The lightning draw doesn't connect.
Close. Not close enough, and Kim takes some damage for that.
This might be it. A lot of damage coming towards Kim. That forces out the defensive interfere coming from Hyogo Kwon. Has to, because that would have been a lot of damage coming out to him. And now Jae Kim is a little bit short distance. The chase is looking to be happening, but not really happening though.
Good steering strike on Suwon, using it right away so he does not get chased.
Yeah.
But Shinhancard on the other hand gets pulled in and has to back out.
Yep. But still, Shinhancard saves all of his escapes, so he has that available if he chooses to use it. Now trying to pull him in, the Warlock damage starting to come forth onto the Destroyer, but wow, Suwon Lee just trying to escape that damage by spinning away, but constant damage being put on by Shinhancard towards him.
Time distortion has been used on Shinhancard's side, but he has been poking Suwon Kim's health down so much. He just came in, just spun away, tried to run away, and tried to take as less damage as possible.
Yeah, and tries to knock him down, but didn't happen there. And Suwon Lee tries to get some answers back towards Shinhancard, but none coming forward so far. The damage might come forward for him now. She cancels it out with the defensive interfere. But actually gonna take some damage with the defensive interfere that came through.
Right, he comes in, pulls him in, body swap happens, and the tab escape. All right, Suwon Kim forces Shinhancard to use both escapes.
This might be a chance for definitely to make a statement here to make this work. Suwon Lee, but it's like taking a damage on the other end from the Warlock.
Yeah, the defensive interfere by Hyogo Kwon was very well played, well timed to save Shinhancard from that attack on from Suwon.
You guys are probably imagining why Sang Lee is at such a low health, because he came through that interfere, but got himself on the shackles and the damage from the Warlock as soon as he came in for the interfere. He was trying to help his teammates, but made the matters worse off for sure.
And it just seems like Coup d'etat has been prepared for this, and you know they have leveled up as a team.
Oh, 7 Lee came in. Probably the worst time possible, and really just suicide mission from there.
He basically just jumped into fire.
Literally, and Hyogo Kwon is not a person to be messed with, and you see that Cyclone just like,
Oh god.
wow, just putting a lot of damage onto him, and Jae Kim also on the slimmest of hell. He has to be careful. This destroyer is not any conventional destroyer. You have to be careful with this one. Hyogo Kwon can make you pay if you do underestimate him. Jae Kim.
Yeah, this is Kureta. This is I think this is a different Kureta from the Korea finals.
I would have to say so.
They're so much more stable. They're solid. You know, their plays, their teamwork is so well played. Look at their tag points. You see so many greens on their side.
And every move they make, they already know what to do next. And it just seems like everything has been calculated and just oh yeah, has been really following to that plan that Kureta has set up for themselves. And just everything is working according to plan.
And I'm gonna say this, I'm very happy because this is the Kureta that I've expected from before.
Yeah.
From like, you know, season 1, 2, and even the Korea finals. This is a Kureta that I remember.
From 2016
Yes.
and before, and definitely that was the legendary part of Kureta before they were trampled. But Byung Kim's lightning draw with that additional damage is good enough to knock him out, and Jae Kim will be the second man out for oh yeah, and they only have one man remaining, and it had to be the destroyer to hopefully go for this 1v3.
Yeah, every time, like, if it's a destroyer or like a blade master left, you know, all hopes are lost. If it was an assassin, maybe because, you know, Jinyu Park in the previous year, he has shown us a 3v1. So whenever I see a, you know, assassin left alone on a 3v1, I still have that glimmer of hope.
Because you've seen it done.
Yeah, I've seen it done live, but a destroyer, I don't know, not so much.
It's just we don't want to give you false hopes, guys, because it's Destroyer facing off against 3 coup d'etat members to hopefully finish him on. There we kind of see the other end of that stick, and Hyogo Kwon hammering him down to finish him off. And that is a 4-0 lead now for coup d'etat over Oh Yeah, and Oh Yeah, just they don't know how to seem to answer for all the questions that coup d'etat is throwing at us.
Yeah, so basically, if I was just having hope until the tag, because, you know, Kureta did take all the points from the first 2 singles. So if Oh Yeah were to take this tag win, I was going to say they have hopes because, you know, set 6 and set 7 are also tagged. And if they're able to win the tag, they can still take the victory. But them losing in all of the singles and the first tag, now, I don't know if they have hope because set 4 and 5 is back to singles. And if they're unable to take at least one away from them and they lose a tag in the set 6, then it's all over.
And in that story that you're mentioning, it's a crucial point of that was Byung Kim, whether he was going to perform or not, and that was going to be the difference maker. And so far, what we've seen from him has been flawless, and he's done everything right and putting the damage when he needs to, putting the defensive efforts for his team as well through the interferes, and just everything about him has been flawless, and that really does contribute to a very successful coup d'etat team.
Exactly.
And Oh Yeah just seems baffled by this entire situation, don't know what to do about it.
And you know how in the middle of the game I mentioned that, you know, this is the coup d'etat that I expected, and, you know, I'm very happy that they're back.
Yeah.
To be honest, I'm going to be honest. I think from the start, like in Korea finals, I don't know if you probably remember, where Hyogo Kwon was on the Warlock most of the time during tag.
Yeah.
And Shinhancard Kim was on the Soul Fighter, and Byung Kim was on the Blade Dance.
Yeah.
I think that was just a mistake that they made, the composition-wise. I think this is the composition that I was longing for coup d'etat to come out with, even during season 2 and during Korea finals. With Hyogo Kwon just on the Destroyer and Byung Kim on the Blade Dancer, the 2 players with their comfortable picks, and Shinhancard Kim not on the Soul Fighter, not because he's bad, but he performs
so
better
well
with Warlock.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you said, maybe he's bored with it. Maybe he has more fun playing with the Soul Fighter. But, you know, on the Warlock, he just shows better performances. And now what do we have?
I mean, they're going all out troll today because Hyogo Kwon is on the Assassin. It's a hit or miss at the fullest of extents. We're going to see Hyogo Kwon on the Assassin go up against Suwon Lee on the Destroyer. Very favorable matchup for Hyogo Kwon as well for the Assassin. But, hey, you know, what do we have to say? You know, 2 more single wins and they're basically done with this series and they move on to the finals. So they have a lot more room to really make a little bit of plays and make a little bit of leisure for themselves.
And you guys may think, they are bad mannering or trolling, but it's not, because they do have these classes registered. Like we said, the music has changed, and we are getting ready for the 4th set. Back to singles. Let's get it on.
Here we go.
Yep,
For the second series of singles between Coup d'etat and and Hyogo Kwon. Not on the Destroyer, but he is on the Assassin versus Suan Lee on the Destroyer.
Yeah, Assassin versus Destroyer matchup is never good for the Destroyer. And if you see on the scoreboard, Coup d'etat is up 4-0, and we have 2 more singles left, including this one. So we have 2, including this. So if Coup d'etat takes both of the singles, it's just over, 6-0 sweep. But Hyogo Kwon is on the Assassin. So far, since they're, standing right now, doing nothing, Hyogo Kwon has shown us Destroyer, Blade Dancer, Warlock, and now the Assassin. And he does have all of the characters registered, so it's not, you can't really say troll.
I mean, he's played it before,
and
but like I said, right before, this match began, it is a hit or miss, and we've seen that before. Hyogo Kwon sometimes has failed miserably using the Assassin, and sometimes he played very well, but right now, if you can't defeat a Destroyer with an Assassin, you probably shouldn't play Assassin anymore longer.
Especially on the pro level. Like if you're maybe on the online when we're when we're PvPing at home, it's a different story. But this is at the pro level. They're all good. They should be able to counter some of the classes and some of the people or the players. And Hyogo Kwon, being at that top tier class as a skill level, as a person, playing the Assassin, maybe he should be able to beat this Destroyer.
Yeah. It seems like you're slowly starting to get that done, because Hyogo Kwon trying to get the damage with the Bombard now.
Ooh, Shadow Slash connecting.
Shadow Slash gets him in midair, and it's gonna get into another stun. If there's no escape opportunity for Suan Lee, he has all of it on cooldown so far. So the landmine knocking him down once again. Funny, trying to look for this.
All right, right now you could just notice that Hyogo Kwon isn't as comfortable on the Assassin compared to his other classes, because he still had 10 seconds left to make his move, but he was afraid that the Destroyer had his escape back, so he was playing it cautiously.
Oh, putting that double bombard onto the air.
Now he knows
the webbing will come through, and that's gonna be a poison breath to finish him off, and a clean, probably the cleanest that we expected out of Hyogo Kwon's Assassin. And nonetheless, it's all about the result, and he does get another win. So, Assassin mission successful.
Yeah, Assassin. Hyogo Kwon has taken victory with the Assassin, and Suwon Kim looks baffled right now. You just saw him on the screen. He's like, "Oh gosh, I lost to Hyogo Kwon's Assassin." Like he's not. It just feels like he had that face.
I kind of see what this contributes to. I kind of see why he picked the Assassin, because if Hyogo Kwon picks an Assassin and beats you with that, the mentality strike doubles in size. And you have to win out just one more series of singles to really win out the series, and just kind of call it a day until you get to the finals. Maybe that was a good strategy for Hyogo Kwon to bring one of his least confident classes, and if he beats you with it, the mentality strike, like I said, it really does double, triple in size.
Exactly, and as I mentioned before, this is different from playing online and having a Assassin versus Destroyer matchup, because it could be pretty even at home playing online at the same tier level, but right now at this pro level, usually when we see an Assassin versus Destroyer matchup on a 1v1, most of the time, not all the time, but most of the time from what we've seen, the Assassin takes the victory. And even right now, when Hyogo Kwon brought his 4th class of, it's not even in his comfort zone, but his 4th class as an Assassin, and he still, beat that Destroyer, Suwon Lee's one and only Destroyer. He only has a Destroyer registered, and you got beaten Hyogo Kwon's 4th pick.
And I think, just one more match coming up could be, if the Coup d'etat does beat out this one, and Byeonho Kim is going to be back out, what potentially could be the last set of the series between Coup d'etat and it's going to be against, I think the name is spelled wrong. It is not Hongayo.
Oh,
it is
gosh.
it was Jae Kim.
Yeah, Jae Kim.
Definitely, if you guys get a little bit confused, that is the name. That is not his name on the screen. So
There is no name called Hong Ga-yu.
yeah,
in this tournament.
It doesn't even sound Korean. Yeah,
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, but
Yeah, it's Jae Kim versus Byung Kim. And if Byung Kim is able to take this victory, Coup d'etat will have a full sweep 6-0.
6-0, and that's going to be a very clean finish for Coup d'etat, and exactly what they're wanting. It seems they haven't got complacent after beating out CSK. They kept that same mindset heading into this series and really trying their best to win out every single game. And whether there's going to be another repeat performance from Coup d'etat to win out this one and close out the series, we're going to have to see with Coup d'etat versus Oh Yeah, potentially the last set coming right your way. Let's get on. Definitely Coup d'etat versus Oh Yeah has been one-sided to say the least, and 5-0 is the current scoreline towards Coup d'etat. And Oh Yeah, I mean, they still can win it.
Yeah.
If they win every single match from here on, they can win the series.
Yeah, they win this single, they win the next tag and the next tag, they win the series. However, you know, it's possible, but it's very unlikely.
Easier said than done.
Yeah, easier said than done. And let's see, this is a revenge match from set 2, if you guys remember, Byung Kim versus Jae Kim. Byung Kim was able to beat Jae Kim, taking, you know, the second set, but this is the 5th set now, and if they are, the 5th set, if Byung Kim is able to win this, it's over.
If you did see that, that was a very unusual tab escape from Byung Kim. He was very distance away from Jae Kim, but he chose to use it pretty late, but in the end, he's putting the damage onto himself. Maybe a good... What? 100 is 0.
Look at his face.
I mean, look at his face. I mean, I got that face too as soon as he's turned that out. Is it?
Oh my god.
It's over for Oh Yeah, and
I'm sorry, but Jae Kim has just been deleted.
has been deleted for sure because
And you saw
Byung Kim was surprised, we were
face.
surprised, and
he's like, why did he die already? Kind of face,
Yeah.
I think.
oh my goodness.
Yeah.
And
But, you know, that happens when you don't have your familiar out and you have your body swap.
Yeah.
Your secondary escape as a warlock, you want that familiar out, but he didn't have that out, and, you know, getting into the aerial, into, you know, not having a tab escape is just going to finish you off.
Let's watch that replay because I want to see how that even happened.
So Byung Kim didn't even give him the chance to spawn that familiar, and, you know, just deleted him, literally.
Oh, I think that's his nephew. It seems like, yeah, he's got, the sign did say uncle, so he's
Fighting,
cheering for his uncle, so I think
which
his little
uncle?
nephew.
I don't know which
Byung Kim, I think
Oh,
it's
was
Byung,
it?
yeah, I think it's
Okay.
Byung Kim's little nephew. Very cute little boy, cheering for his uncle there, and his uncle's doing very well today.
Yeah,
Byung Kim,
very well.
very successful in what he's trying to do in the singles, in the tag. You know, every role that he's supposed to play as a blade dancer, as a defensive role, with the interferer, and also the damage dealer as well. He's done everything right today, so kudos to him.
Yeah, kudos to him. And the first set of the second half of this wildcard event was a 6-0 sweep on Coup d'etat's side. Now Coup d'etat will be waiting at the finals table for either G-Touring or IDEPS, which will be playing after... Are we going to have a break?
I think we will, but I think we will have a short break before we do move on to the game 2 because semifinals is going to be very hot and we need to keep it cool for now and just give some time for the players to set up once again. So we're going to go to a short break. We'll be right back with game 2.
아니야. 내가 그것도 모를 거 아니 내가 말을 들어보니까
단위를 원래 이렇게 많이 사용합니까?
사람의 입에서 당연히 나올 수밖에 없는 거.
에이 컴퓨터잖아요.
아니.
벌써 2번 또 썼네요.
이러면은 기공포가 또 돌아오죠. 빅노를 이기고 이제 그때 그렇게 됐죠.
말은 넣지 마시고요.
맞아.
말을 놓을 거예요, 정신을 놓을 거예요. 둘 중에 하나만 놓죠.
근데 이게 둘 다 어떻게 될지 몰라서 일단 한번 보면서.
역사의 산 증인 최성진 모셔보겠습니다.
뭐 다들 아시겠지만 뭐 세계적인 역사 최성진 인사 올리겠습니다. 반갑습니다. 저는 사실상 쿨 계산 이 앞에 있는 한준호 선수처럼 계산 같은 거 안 합니다. 계산 같은 거 없이 그냥 제 느낌 오는 대로 하는 겁니다. 진짜입니다. 저는 저 믿고 생각하시고 오시면 됩니다.
준비하신 좀 이렇게 콤보를 한번 설명을 해주시면서
이 지진이라는 기절은 3초기 때문에 평탑하게 평까지 들어가는 겁니다.
평탑하게
평파 3회
7대.
7대네요.
정확하게 들어가면
그렇죠.
7대.
네.
평파 3회 평타까지
자,
한번
한번
더 해서
해보겠습니다, 일단.
네.
오케이.
셋, 넷.
기가 막 깔끔하다.
맞죠?
와, 이거
다르지
깔끔했어요.
않습니까?
오,
다르지 않습니까?
역시 월드 디스트로이어.
잠시만요.
네.
평파 3번이라고 하셨는데 4번 하셨어요.
그래요?
네.
하나, 둘, 셋, 넷, 다 7번 아니었나요?
다 7번.
다시 한번 해보세요.
잘 보십시오, 형님.
네.
진짜?
하나, 둘, 셋, 넷, 평타.
맞네요. 이게 평탑하게 평탑.
자,
이게
여러분
맞거든요.
잘 기억하시죠. 3초 기절에는 평파 4회에 평타 한 방 더까지 총 9방이 들어가는 겁니다.
9방이 들어갔던
7번이 아니에요.
네.
다음 거 보여주시죠.
그럼 일단은 지진하고 격돌까지 한번 보여드리겠습니다.
알겠습니다. 지진의
완벽하고.
격돌까지.
맞죠, 이게? 정확합니까?
정확하진 않았던 게 이게 사실상 기절이 뜨면 안 되고 연장 시에는 기절 문구가 안 뜨거든요.
아니지요. 이 참 모르는 소리 하는데 역사를 진짜 1도 모릅니다. 이게 진짜 0.1초의 칼 타이밍. 이 기공사 유저라서 잘 모르시는 것 같은데 이게 지진과 격돌은 진짜 칼 같은 타이밍이 필요하고
알겠습니다.
이런 게 필요합니다.
Welcome back everyone to blade&soul Korea Wildcards, and we're almost getting done with the entire tournament. We have 2 more games remaining, and last game with the semifinals. It's going to tell us who's going to be facing Coup d'etat in the grand finals of this wild card. And that one last team, the victor of that match, will represent Korea for the third and final spot in the World Championship.
Yeah, and G Touring and IDEPS will be playing next, and you know, regardless of who wins, their next and last hurdle, which is Coup d'etat, is gonna be their last boss.
Yeah, but you know, speaking of IDEPS, though, you know, we have to talk about how IDEPS did beat out Coup d'etat in Korea finals back in the day, but what we want to have to say differently is that, you know, Coup d'etat is definitely a different team now. And it's not the same team you saw in the Korea finals who have been disappointing. And some of the key moments you saw them from, but G Touring, as you see on the screen, they had done pretty well against the OSC squad that we saw from them earlier in the match. But just regarding this, G Touring did pretty well, but they're going to have to face off against IDEPS, who have been very, very hot for a majority of this 2017 event, more recently with the Korea finals, and even through the first match, they showed a lot of strength. And it's actually a good chance actually for Hyuk-An to really go up against his sensei of his former teacher to see if if he can beat out Jung Yoon in that same Force Master.
I don't know if he's at that level yet, but you know, we never know. I also want to mention, you know, IDEPS has, even though Jung Yoon and Sang-Ho Kim, Duggan Kang made IDEPS as a new team, but now they're not new anymore because they have been together for a couple of seasons. But G Touring bringing in Hyuk-An, many roster changes in a very short time. So will G Touring's teamwork be able to work against IDEPS, who has been more composed and, you know, have worked with their teammates longer compared to G Touring?
Definitely G Touring's performance did pay off in a little bit of an under-assembled OSC that we saw from them earlier. So definitely OSC looked more disappointing rather than G Touring being overly impressive. So, you know, taking that aside now, they're up against IDEPS. They're a much more constructive team, and they're much more organized. And these three players you see on the screen, they seem to know better as to, you know, how to play with each other and how to cooperate and how to really support one another to make their roles the most effective as it can be, because these three players with the Force Master, with the KFM, and with the Assassin, it's not the most conventional meta regarding the team composition, but, you know, IDEPS had took time and after time to making this work, and I think they're at the stage now where they finally found a little bit of a key answer they really need to find success every time.
Yeah, and right now on screen we just saw Duggan King, and you know, last time around he brought out, oh, there we go, the first match. Anyways, he brought out the Warlock instead of his KFM, but this time I hope he brings out the KFM and, you know, competes against Gyeongnam Park's KFM. And for the first matchup, we have Gyeongnam Park's KFM and Jung Yoon's Force Master.
I would still like to rely that, you know, with regard to the team composition, they might bring out the Warlock once again just to have a little bit of support. But regardless, Gyeongnam Park, you're going to see a little bit of KFM for the first match, but it is against the almost nearly invincible Jung Yoon now, so you know, it's a tough opponent, but every point is going to be crucial for these guys, and just picking up 1 point from here is going to really build up their momentum heading into the later parts of the series. But you know, at G Touring, they have to find few answers early up in the beginning, and that's going to help them truly in the long run.
Yeah, especially for G Touring, they want to take, you know, starting off the first set, they want to try to take that point away from IDEPS. Usually I would say, you know, the first two match, it's okay if you lose, you can come back always with the tag and the next two singles. But this time around, like we said before many times, there is no second chances. You know, first matches matter, especially when both teams are pretty much even. Like, they're not, one of the teams isn't a new team. They're both have been, you know, participating in the tournaments. So, you know, starting off right off the bat, the first set is very important. So let's see who will take that first point away.
I mean, you want to compare the two teams, and IDEPS has found more success recently. But just all in all, comparing the teams, you know, one by one, player by player, and just overall team results that they have gathered for themselves, G Touring is not a bad team.
Definitely.
And they are not absolutely outclassed by IDEPS either. And it's just all about that comparison that we're trying to do. We're going to have to see whether Jung Yoon, I think, is having a little bit of keyboard issue. I think the staff is trying to get that figured out for him, but
Duggan Kang with the keyboard.
Duggan Kang with the
like,
keyboard, but
whatever the issue is, there is an issue right now, but we're not getting the voices in her head, so, you know, I guess it's not a big issue that won't take that long.
But all in all, just G20 and IDEPS will be a little bit more interesting than many people might expect. People remember IDEPS more because of their success they have found in the Korea finals recently, coming up in third place, just behind the GC Busan teams. And so quite an accomplishment there, but G-Touring is not a team to be scoffed at because with the recent development they had and Hyuk-An joining the lineup, adding a little bit of more flair with that Force Master, it's really adding a new dynamic for this team, and hopefully we can get a little more answers to clarify really what the true power level of them is right now.
Yeah, actually we did get the voices in our head right now, but I didn't understand, so I think there is a technical difficulty right now with Jung Ho-yoon's computer now.
Yeah.
Before he was the ref was touching Dougie Kang's
Kang,
keyboard, but now he's on Jung Ho-yoon, but it seems like we're ready.
I think they'll let us know for sure, but I think we're going to go back to
I guess we're not
us.
ready because we're back on screen.
Back on screen, guys. Hi, guys.
Yeah, so yeah, it seems as if Dougie Kang and Jung Ho-yoon's has some difficulties with this computer settings right now, and this usually happens because every time we come back from commercial break, you know, all the players have their own gears, they have their own settings, so they have to switch it, and every time they switch it, like plug in, plug out, everything. So there's some difficulties that may happen, so you know, bear with us while they fix it. They're trying their best.
We'll get it taken care of, and one day or another, and if it ends up tomorrow, it will be fine.
Yeah.
You guys won't be fine, but we'll be fine. So they'll take care of us, and so while we do advance to that, you know, we need more time to talk about World Championship because it is happening next Wednesday.
Well,
and
it is next Wednesday, but it's in 3 days.
it is.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
basically true. We're talking about it's the long run, but it's only 3 days from now, and just the anticipation of how the teams will fare against each other. The biggest question, of course, is the Western teams. You know, we did meet some of them during the break, and we got to meet some of the NA players and the EU players as well. So got to say hi. My wish come true. So that's gone and done with, and we got to see those players, and they look very excited because they look very enthusiastic to the fact that they will be representing their own region in this World Championship in Korea. So it's a lot of anticipation that they have for themselves, and I think we should also give them the same type of hype that really they deserve because they worked really hard to beat out the other teams in their region to get here. So the first year, their first appearance for the World Championship in Blade and Soul, we just really hope them they have a lot of success here.
Yeah, we haven't started the Worlds yet, but I just feel that this year's Worlds is actually Worlds because we do have the NA and the EU region. In the previous years, like I mentioned before, we did have mostly the Asian countries within the Worlds, and I always felt like previously me and Min's before he left, we were always talking about how where is NA, where is EU? We want to cast them playing in Worlds against other countries as well. But unfortunately for Mins, he left and he didn't get the chance to cast, and now we have Joel here to cast the first Worlds with NA and EU.
But I'm sure DC Mins, I think he'll be very happy. Far away, he's back in NA now. Working very hard for his new club. But he'll be very happy to see that NA and EU will be joining. So his dream has been coming true.
So I am very happy for NA and EU, and like we mentioned before, we're not going to be rooting for the Korean teams. We're going to be rooting for the NA.
We have no
and
obligation. Once again, a reminder: OGN does not force us in our contract to root for the Korean team. So we will choose on our own personal behalf to not root for the Korean teams, and we will root our best for the NA and EU teams.
But anyways, it just seems like they are still fixing their computers, but we can't see. We could actually only see the G-Touring
side,
booth. So IDEPS is right under us right now, but it seems like they are fixing it.
And it seems like the problem has been resolved. That's the audio that we're getting in our head. Our lovely producer is always giving us reminders and always giving us updates on what is going on. And the quick update is that the problem has been resolved. So we're going to move on to the match very quickly if we do move on to the slides. But very exciting because G-Touring and, IDEPS, we think IDEPS will win because of the recent success that they have had. But will G-Touring put up a fight? That will be the big question here.
Yeah, because, like we said, IDEPS did have a better performance, a positive performance compared to G-Touring. However, G-Touring did have 2 roster changes now with Hyuk-An coming in. So we'll have to see. G-Touring with Hyuk-An, it seemed pretty stable when they were going up in the first half of the wildcard event. But, now is the real deal. going up against IDEPS. And Hyukki-an especially, yes, he did play pretty well as a Force Master, but now he's going up against the real Force Master, Jung Ho-yoon. So let's see how well he supports his team, whereas Jung Ho-yoon supports his team as well.
I'm not going to apologize for the fact that I called him a budget Force Master. I still need it to this day because, you know, he hasn't proven himself yet. To the standards of Jung Ho-yoon, I don't think any Force Master that ever comes up in the Blade and Soul scene will be able to match the potential of what, you know, Jung Ho-yoon has shown us time after time with that Force Master. The ability to make that class just overpowered over all the classes, completely insane. And we're going to get a few more instances of that. We're going to see Jung Ho-yoon, the good Force Master, will be coming out for Game 1 against Gyeongmi Park on the KFM. Let's get it on. Thank you for sticking with us, guys, and we are finally on to match 2 between Gyeongmi Park on the KFM and Jung Ho-yoon. Game 1, my bad. But
Did you say Game 5?
it's match 2, set 1, so I was misunderstanding for set 1. But Jung Ho-yoon,
Gyeongmi Park making his first move. Jung Ho-yoon forced to use his secondary escape right off the bat.
so that's going to be a big disadvantage heading onto the next 30 seconds or so, because Jung Ho-yoon, knowing the fact that his tab escape is gone, is going to be putting in the damage. Second aerial most likely coming underway, and there we go, puts in the damage now.
Frost burst with.
Yeah, it's gonna do the frost burst as soon as he puts in that damage.
Buying time. He's gonna try to.
Meteor, it's gonna be onto the
that
stun.
Jung Ho-yoon's class right there.
Oh my goodness, and Gyeongmi Park has nothing to left because at 3 more seconds where he doesn't have the tab escape. Finally gets the tab escape back. He can use it, but that's a lot of damage already being lost. 95% approximately being lost, and that is just an easy win for Jung Ho-yoon.
Wow.
Class.
Clean.
I really haven't seen a initial meteor strike connected to a secondary stun. You
with the glacial beam.
Yeah.
Like, so frost burst into the meteor strike with the glacial beam.
Yeah.
Perfect connection into the wall bang, and then after the wall bang, he didn't even continue. He just started pushing him out of the wall too.
So signature wall bang is what we see from Jung Ho-yoon, and there's not many Force Masters that can really pull this off every single game, and Jung Ho-yoon he does it almost every game, and again here, and that was good enough to take the win. So clean though.
Yeah, so there we go. Well, this is already after the fact where, you know, he connects the meteor with the glacial beam and then pushes him all way
What are you
away.
supposed to do here?
So he did survive for a split second with the back roll, and you know, but that's not gonna give you a long time to survive.
Definitely a very good calculation of Jung Ho-yoon to count at the last few seconds of where that tab escape was on cooldown, so he knew that fact and just went in aggressively as he knew the exact timing on that when that cooldown was back up. So, no, good read from Jung Ho-yoon to mark out his opponent and really do what he's just basically sufficiently supposed to do to get the win there.
Yeah. Well, that was a very clean win, and basically Jung Ho-yoon just did 100-0, didn't take any damage at all. It just seems like Gyeongmi Park is, I don't know,
pretty frustrated.
Yeah, he seems frustrated. And why is Hyukki-an on the screen? Maybe he is
Second
man out.
We'll see very shortly. And Hyukki-an is going to be coming out. The Master, Force Master, Sensei Force Master has shown its start. So Hyukki-an is going to prove his worth by appearing for the second match against Sang Kim on the Assassin. Hopefully he can repeat, making just resemble exactly what he saw from the earlier game, make it his, and hopefully pull out a win for his team.
Yeah, so usually, you know, when Jung Ho-yoon goes up against an assassin, I usually say, you know, Jung Ho-yoon is the assassin killer. He annoys the assassin a lot with freezing him and, you know, just playing around. Usually it's the assassin doing the annoying, but when it's Jung Ho-yoon's Force Master, he does the annoying. But let's see if Hyukki-an is able to do that against Sang Kim's assassin.
We'll definitely get an answer whether Assassin is an undermatch against the Hyukki-an's Force Master. We're going to have to see in the second match between G-Touring and IDEPS. Game 2 coming right underway. Let's get it on. Here the fans are starting to make their voices heard because it's getting to that crunch time. You know, when you're very, very close to being that third representative
Yep, it is.
for Korea, and you know, I think all 4 teams really believe that they have the chance to do it. We obviously saw coup d'etat breaking the hopes of one of the teams already. So G-Touring, even though they're 1-0 behind, they don't believe that they're completely out of this yet.
All right, they are both playing it very mobile. They're moving around. They're using Frost Burst, and Sang-ho Kim is trying to keep Hyuk-Yeon in his palm, but Hyuk-Yeon finally uses Tab Escape to force another stealth out for Sang-ho Kim as well.
Sang-ho Kim, he's stealthed, but trying to make his statements worth because he is frozen up already, and Hyuk-Yeon doesn't take damage from that. He had to run away from that instance because he is out of his Tab Escape and also his secondary escape as well.
Here we go.
The Assassin making his move now onto the high webbing. When he does come back down, he's going to make some damage work. The landmine does poke him down. And it's going to be time for Sang-ho Kim to put in some damage. He's still out of that escape, so that's going to be another opportunity for Sang-ho Kim to make a play onto him. Finally gets the escape back, but he has to use it straight away as soon as he's back on cooldown.
Yep, his Tab Escape actually knocks back Sang-ho Kim, forcing him to use his Lotus of Escape. But Sang-ho Kim does get his stealth back, so he could play aggressive once again.
So Hyuk-Yeon, he hasn't figured out Sang-ho Kim what the weak spot is within this guy, but Hyuk-Yeon just getting beat after time. And just another webbing, another series of combo most likely to come through. But he is frozen up, so really can't continue. But another stun does come up. 5 more seconds before the Tab Escape is available. So Sang-ho Kim trying to make work with that time frame that he's really working with.
Yep, Hyuk-Yeon forced to use his secondary escape right away. His Tab Escape is back now. Stealth is used by Sang-ho Kim.
Yeah.
3 seconds until Lotus of Escape for Sang-ho Kim to put down that flower. There we go.
You see, Sang-ho Kim is 100% health. He hasn't taken any damage, and if he had done,
Tab
he
Escape
healed up already a little bit, but Hyuk-Yeon, 20% health.
Yep, it's
and
not
no
looking good.
escape.
It's basically done
It's gonna
because
be
he
a
is
webbing.
out of all of his escapes. He does get his secondary escape back, but there we go. It's used right away.
Yep. And the freezing him up was probably the last hope that he had, but the poison breath is good enough to finish him off, and Sang-ho Kim 100% health is the result as he gets a victory, and 2-0 does go over to IDEPS right now.
Yeah, unfortunately for Hyuk-Yeon, he was unable to obtain the nickname of Assassin Killer as a Force Master.
So now we know
now we
that
know.
Force Master does not automatically defeat an assassin. It's only with Jung Woo-in, so we know that's not the logic and the mathematical solution there. So don't try it at home, guys. It doesn't work.
Yeah, it doesn't work all the time unless you're Jung Woo-in. So, you know, like I said before, when Jung Woo-in plays the Force Master, it looks broken. But, you know, when any other player plays the Force Master, it's normal. They're not bad. Hyuk-Yeon did not play the Force Master bad. He didn't, you know, he just didn't play it on the same level as Jung Woo-in, and that level is way too high for any player to just, you know, get up there easily.
And at the same time, he was going up against a much tougher opponent. Sang-ho Kim is not an assassin to be scoffed at, so we know his skill level, and he showed it definitely there. Consistency is what he had seen from him. More recently, he hasn't had many bad performances, Sang-ho Kim, in the recent times that we saw him. Going back all the way to the Korea finals, he's been much more consistent from day to day, from game to game. We have seen him really flutter at times when, you know, it was a very crucial moment for IDEPS, and he has faltered in those situations. But you know, with the recent months that we've seen Sang-ho Kim play that assassin, it's much more consistency is what we've been seeing for him. So it's very satisfying to see that.
Yep, and now it seems like we are getting ready for our third match, which will be tagged. First tag of for these two teams worth 2 points. Right now, IDEPS is up 2-0.
Could be another clean sweep if they do win at this tag match and the next series of singles to come.
Ooh, and Duggan Kang isn't on the KFM.
He's gonna be on the Blade Dancer. We've seen him play the Blade Dancer during the Korea finals. He felt that it was a more conventional pick, going for his team composition, putting in that little bit more supportive role, and also the damage output as well. So Duggan Kang doesn't mind sacrificing his own favoritism towards any class to help out his team. So he's doing that there, continuing on that from Korea finals.
Yeah, but at least Youngmin Park is staying with his KFM.
Yeah? You like to see that?
Yeah, I do, because I am a KFM main.
Well, we're going to go on to game 3 because IDEPS and G-Touring currently is 2-0 towards IDEPS, whether they can continue that streak and make it a 4-0. We're going to have to find out in game 3. Let's get it on. just a recap of what happened in our, the previous series between Coup d'etat. Coup d'etat did win out in a 6-0 sweep. This is slowly starting to get there with 2-0 currently for IDEP. So if they win out this one, it's gonna be 4-0. Just winning out that next series of singles. After that, we'll make it another clean sweep for these guys. So.
Yeah, and G-Touring being one of the veteran teams actually in this wildcard event, they do not want this round to be, another loss for them.
Yeah.
Just the fact that if they lose this is 4-0, that's already a stain, on their paper, on their record. Even though they, maybe they'll come back with a couple singles.
And to be honest, right before this series actually began between G-Touring and IDES, of course we didn't know the full potential of what these two power differences would have been, but we expected G-Touring to put up a lot more of a fight than what we've seen from them in the first two games. So Game 3 should be an indicator as to, what the true difference is between these two teams, but Shinhancard really not finding much answers to knock out Sound Kim, but only the time distortion is going to be profiting from Moving Cha coming in for that Warlock interfere.
Alright, Duggan comes in with that interfere, makes
Continuous
it a
interfere.
reactionary.
That was about 3 interfere in a matter of 10 seconds, so that was a little bit of a glitch there.
Yep, Jung Yoon is out now. Tab escape is used, and his secondary escape has been used.
I was going to get another stun, so Jung Yoon putting in that work as soon as he is tagged in with Sound Kim's tag point that it has been used. So the only tag point already being used so far in this match. Yami Park in the next 5 seconds is going to get that free tag. Force tag will be coming out, so he's trying to distance himself, hopefully. That's not a very good tag in.
They come
so
with the offensive interfere.
the
trying to
chase
make something
has to
out.
happen. So, but not much happening considering the close distance they had with that force tag coming up. So
it seems as if Woo Bin Cha was spamming Sanctum right when he tagged in to protect himself, and that offensive interfere did not do much to Woo Bin Cha right now.
And he does save his escape, not really losing anything out of that trade other than the Sanctum cooldown, which was not that very long. So Kang trying to make something work out of that. He's not going to get away from this one because the defensive interfere, coming in from the side of G-Touring.
Yep, getting that blue buff, Kyungmin Park, trying to make something out. Woo Bin Cha wants to do something while he has the blue buff, but it's going to run out soon.
The offensive interfere coming in from IDES trying to put some damage onto it, but like I said, once again, it's not much damage coming towards that Warlock, but Duggan Kang making everything work. Another bombard, poison breath off the interfere from Sound Kim, trying to make them damage. Finally gets a little bit of damage, but Woo Bin Cha using the time distortion to get any type of escape that he has used previously.
Yeah, it seems like IDEPS is trying to play it offensive. They're using a lot of resources early on in the game. If you notice the score, the resource points, IDEPS, 2 of the players have one tag and 1 interfere left.
Woo Bin Cha really doing a good job of negating any type of damage coming in from the side of IDES with the offensive interfere that they're constantly using. But the other side of that story is that he's not putting out much damage as soon as he comes in, but Jung Yoon read that chase perfectly and puts in damage as soon as he comes in. And the wallbang is good enough to finish out Kyungmin Park, and that is the first man down for G-Touring, and this is looking very good for IDES to get that 4-0 lead.
Wow, Kyungmin Park, look at his resource points. I always have to mention it.
2-2,
2-2, that is a lot that they have, wasted now.
Yuki-an is angry now. He's trying to get that revenge for the teammate that has died. So Jung Yoon doesn't really mind that challenge because he knows that he can just heal back up in an instant. So that was a very unfortunate situation for G-Touring where, Kyungmin Park, he tagged in. I think it was a little bit of a proper tag in, but it was Jung Yoon really reading that chase perfectly and getting that timing perfectly to start that wallbang, and that was enough damage to finish him off.
All right, here we go. Jung Yoon is making his move with the offensive interfere, trying to do as much damage, and it's
much
gonna be
damage. With the Blade Dancer and the Force Master connecting with that damage, and it's gonna be the second man out for G-Touring, and now they're only 1 man remaining to face off against these 3 players.
It's not Woo Bin Cha. It just seems as if Woo Bin Cha didn't get to do anything.
I mean, Jung Yoon, I feel like he's just going to finish him off here. He doesn't really need to tag out. Well, at least he gets the force tag.
He's going to get force tagged out, probably. But yeah, like I said, up to the mid game, IDEPS was actually forcing an offensive plays using a lot of their tag and interference points and they weren't making too much good plays out of it. But in the end, it played out the way they wanted.
He tried to read that timing for that chase, but Woocha misses on the calculation of that timing just barely. Doesn't get that to work, so Sound Kim now wants to be the finisher of this match. Going aggressively against Woocha because he knows that there are no defensive interfere opportunities for the side of G20, so aggressively as he can.
Yep, and the time distortion has been used, and Woocha is actually, he's not giving up. He's trying his best. Warlock does have the damage output, to be able to do maybe a 3v1,
yeah.
But I've never seen it done yet by a Warlock. Maybe Woocha could be the first. We'll have to see.
And
now
we
Kim
know,
is making his move.
Yeah, we know the Warlock is usually the opportunistic damage dealer. Yeah, the opportunity has to be given to you if you're about to deal that damage, but with the lack of the offensive interferes and these teammate chemistry that you can make with your teammates, it's not there. So it's really impossible to see him, to expect a 1v3 success from Woocha. So Sound Kim poking him down one by one, that continuous bombard damage doing work. Freezing a perfect Jung-Hoon. That was a perfect interfere coming for the defense, freezing his teammate up to negate any kind of damage.
Yep.
Even if you have the opportunity, Jung-Hoon will come in and really negate that opportunity all in one.
Yep, and Woocha is out of both escapes.
Yeah,
basically he is done for.
Kang is just looking for any type of spinning. He's going to finish him off and get his team a 4-0 victory.
Another play lands, forcing it.
Woocha trying his best to really keep his hopes alive, but
wow.
We don't want to get any false hopes, so most likely Jung-Hoon, there you go. That's going to be the finish here. Jung-Hoon with the Phantom Grip. It's going to be good enough to finish off. He doesn't have that escape available, so enough damage.
He got it back. Time distortion.
The time distortion onto that meteor. He has to escape from that area of effect. Woocha trying to do all he can. Wow, he's holding on for a very long time. Very good survivability from this guy.
Big round of applause for Woocha.
Definitely, yes.
Regardless of how his team did in this tag, what the outcome is, he is playing his best. He's playing his heart out right now.
And I think the team scouts really should look out for this game and really credit his value of Woocha on that Warlock, of how he really sticks to the end regardless of how hopeless it might seem. So finally he will go down with the Blade Dancer putting up the second aerial, but Woocha put up a good fight, but nonetheless it's all about the results, and it's 4-0 right now to IDEPS.
Yeah, and you mentioned early on, it's slowly going to that sweep 6-0.
Again.
And G-Touring losing both singles and the tag. Now, if they lose two singles, maybe they should have taken the tag. Or if they won both singles, maybe they could lose the tag. But it's not that's not the case. They lost everything. They lost the singles and the tag. And now we're back to two more singles. And if IDEPS win two of these singles, it's a 6-0 sweep once again.
And one dynamic that I really recognize just right now is, we're playing basically 2 days worth of Blade and Soul in one day. And these players have been doing the same since the morning that we have arrived. So fatigue, I think, does really make it matters worse when you're down 2-0. You kind of feel the energy being drained out of you, and really doesn't give you that momentum that you want to continue on that, hopefully pick up that 2 points for yourself. But as we saw with the match against Coup d'etat and now the match against IDEPS, these teams having played in the morning already and really just use their stamina to get things done, but being down really does hurt you mentally, and does give you a lot of confidence to jump right back up. And I think that's what we're seeing from the 2 consecutive series that we've seen.
Yeah, and that is exactly the reason I want to applaud Woocha staying alive for so long against a 3v1 by himself with the Warlock.
It was very, very good, but nonetheless, it's 4-0, and the guy dancing, having a good time. He's definitely not tired. He's been here from the morning. I saw it from the very early parts of the morning, but he's not out of energy by any bits. But it's going to be G-Touring, the most important people, to pull that energy right back to themselves, because they still have a chance to win it if they do win out most of these games coming up. So IDEPS 4-0 up. They're going to be very comfortable. They still have to keep their focus, though, trying to pick out 2 more wins in this next series of singles to really clinch out this series to get the win for them. It's going to be more important towards G-Touring to see whether they can step back up.
Dougie Kang brings
I think that was a very good choice for Woocha to come in. I think he showed the most composure for this tag match that we saw in Game 3. And he has that kind of the mental mindset to know how to win out games, even if they're behind. And I think the other two players in the side of G-Touring, they're pretty exhausted at this moment, just mentally and physically as well. So, you know, the strongest guy with Woo Bin-cha, I think they're really counting on him to pull the ropes back on their face.
Yeah, will he be able to keep that momentum that he had against a 3v1? If he does, then he will be able to beat out Duggan Kang's KFM. But if he's fatigued and tired from lasting so long against a 3v1, he might just lose to Duggan Kang's KFM.
We're going to go right onto the second series of singles between G-Touring and IDEPS. Let's see Woo Bin-cha, they can pull up a rope against the Duggan Kang KFM of IDEPS. We're going to see in this next singles. Let's get on. After 4-0 lead that they have taken for themselves, IDEPS is back for the singles, and Duggan Kang makes his appearance to go up against Woo Bin-cha on the Warlock. I think just IDEPS really wants these next 2 points to just finish it out strong and just wait for the finals.
Yep, best out of 7 for those of you who joined us late. First team to obtain 6 points is the victor.
And the KFM, Duggan Kang doing work for the initial part, already forcing out the tab escape from Woo Bin-cha.
Alright, now he spawns that. Oh, he uses his secondary escape body drop already. Puts down the sector, but into the aerial.
Good opportunity for Woo Bin-cha to put in the damage, but was kind of cut short before he could do a lot of damage that he probably wanted. Puts the paper down for
Triple
defensive
kick
effort.
lands!
It's going to be another stun coming out. The familiar really can't help him too much. It's going to be the knockdown time distortion does come up, which is going to be using the tab escape once again as soon as he gets it back.
Yep, he uses it and then he gets into the time distortion, gets his tab escape back. So he does have his tab escape. He's going to try to wait another 60 seconds for that body swap to come back so he can spawn. Oh, but the triple kick lands again!
The triple kick.
This is what happens when you put too much paper on your face against the KFM. He's going to triple kick you, guard break you into a stun.
You don't see the triple kick landing this successfully all the time, but this is the power of KFM, guys, because you know, once the triple kick lands and the stun is confirmed, so much damage can come from the KFM, and we're really seeing that here. The second aerial will likely be the finish, the knockdown to finish us off and gets another point for Team IDEPS.
All right, Duggan Kang showing us some good KFM plays. Unfortunately for Woo Bin-cha, or let's just say Warlock, one of his main move, pressing 1, putting the paper in his face, is very good for the KFM to right click, you know, into a triple kick.
It's very risky for sure.
So, you know, you don't want to put up that paper, but you actually have to put up the paper to reflect. So it's a dilemma. It's actually, do I have to press
a little bit of
oxymoron
for sure, yeah.
So, you know, we saw at least 2 to 3 triple kicks land from Duggan Kang, forcing a lot of escapes, even after time distortion being used from Woo Bin-cha. And, you know, Duggan Kang is a KFM main, so he knows what to do.
Yep. And Duggan Kang went in aggressively from the very beginning and looked for every opportunity that he could strike. And all of these things that he has done from the very first second of the game will lead us to where we see now, where he does finish us off with the knockdown. Good enough to finish him off, and just another point. Now they're only 1 win away from sweeping out the series once again to a 6-0 win.
Yeah, literally one more match. Like, the next matchup is potentially the last matchup once again. IDEPS up 5-0. Like I said, 6 point. You are the victors, and this next set, if IDEPS takes it away, they will be going up against Coup d'etat after a short break.
And it's going to be a rematch of Coup d'etat versus IDEPS if it does happen that way. And Coup d'etat, they want no other opponent other than IDEPS to get their revenge from the Korean finals. But this is going to be a very exciting mirror match of Force Master Hyuk-Yeon and Jung Ho-yoon. This is the match that really matters because Hyuk-Yeon, he doesn't believe that he is worse than Jung Ho-yoon. He has all the vigor in the world that he can really come up equal against Jung Ho-yoon's Force Master, and he does not fret one bit.
Yeah, and Jung Ho-yoon looks pretty serious. Hyuk-Yeon was actually looking towards Jung Ho-yoon's booth, and he does have that smirk on his face.
There you go.
He kind of does look nervous, but you know, we'll see what happens. If he's able to beat Jung Ho-yoon, that's gonna be a big deal.
And whether he wanted to or not, Jung Ho-yoon does accept that challenge, and it's going to be potentially the last match with the Force Master mirror match with Hyuk-Yeon and Jung Ho-yoon. Hopefully finishing us off with a nice match to see who's the better Force Master this time around. Let's get it on. chance. This is Hyuki-an's chance to get rid of his budget title.
Yeah, budget title and stop IDEPS from giving them a 6-0 sweep. So he has two things on the line.
Double purpose match for this one, Hyuki-an. He's really looking forward to this jump. He's just running around trying to look for an opportunity. So very good movements.
Yeah, Hyuki-an
early on.
lands that CC first. Wow, Hyuki-an forces Jungwoo to use 2 escapes right off the bat.
Woo! So Hyuki-an really feels this coming, and he doesn't think that he's going to lose out this one. Oh, the aerial almost lands there. Actually didn't land.
Super fast knockdown.
Yeah, very good.
All right, Hyuki-an is, he does have the edge right now, forcing
Definitely.
Jungwoo to use both his escapes right away.
Yeah, and Hyuki-an really wants to give a taste of his own medicine. He really wants to win out this
Oh,
one. Gets
Hyuki-an.
another
Wow.
Phantom Grip into the wall bang now. Now Jungwoo is getting wall banged by another Force Master. I wonder how that feels. Terrible.
Oh, he
but
did
he's going
switch
back to
spots.
it. Yeah, man, this is like a fine boxing match where they just trying to put them into the corner. And,
Have escape. All right, now
damage.
the tides have turned. Oh, no!
This is Hyuki-an. He has to be careful here. There's not much he can do. Putting in a lot of damage.
no!
Why does it seem like Jungwoo-yoon's Force Master just seems stronger by default? It's not fair.
Oh, gosh.
It seems like they're doing the same thing, but Jungwoo-yoon's getting the better damage output. Why is that?
All right.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, very close.
Oh, Hyuki-an
escape.
getting himself to the wall. He has to get away from that wall.
Oh, wow. Hyuki-an definitely had the edge at the start of the game. But like you said, it just seems like when Jungwoo is on the Force Master, it's just stronger.
It just seems like there's. It's like
Wow.
when you play a typical RPG game.
Yeah.
You know, you have the maybe assassin first. Like,
yeah,
you
yeah.
have a level 50 assassin, but when you go against a level 100 assassin,
Yeah.
you use the same skill, but you die in the end
Yeah,
because it's just naturally strong, and that's exactly kind of what we've seen.
Yeah.
It just seems unfair, but you know what Hyuki-an kind of earned as a result of this. Got a clean sweep by IDES.
Oh, yeah, they did. I didn't even notice that because the match was so fun.
And the second thing he got, he maintained his budget title.
yeah.
He is forever the budget Force Master until 2018.
Yep, until he gets another
That is feels bad, man.
That feels bad for Hyuki-an.
Oh.
So he gave IDEPS a sweep, like you said, and he kept his title. So, yeah, but I gotta say, Hyuki-an did have the edge in the beginning, like I said, but he was unable to play the Force Master as well as Jungwoo. There's nothing more to say.
Jungwoo is the better Force Master. That is the conclusion of the essay that we've been writing throughout this 2017 Blade and Soul.
Yeah.
Hyuki-an is not better than Jungwoo on the Force Master. A fact that we thought we knew, but now we actually got to see for ourselves.
Yeah, because we've always kept saying Jungwoo Force Master is another level, and if Jungwoo were to lose this round, then we would maybe have to take a step back and rethink that.
Oh,
but
yeah.
Jungwoo wants to keep that title of being on another level.
And it just seemed like, he was very controlled. Jungwoo, even though taking that damage from the early on, I felt like he was very composed. He knew exactly what was going on, and he knew that his opportunity was coming once Hyuki-an did go for that all-in. But I think we're going to go to a short break, though, with the conclusion of IDEPS getting us another clean sweep of 6-0. We're going to go to a short commercial break. We'll be back with the last match of today's wild card to see who's going to be the representative of Korea, the third one. Coming right your way. So we're going to go to a short break and we'll be right back.
접근가 선수 바로 주술사와 한준호 선수입니다. 예.
오늘은 저번처럼 안 당하려고.
아 그래요? 지금
마음을 단단히 먹고 왔다.
네.
오. 그리고 오늘 혹시 준 됩니까? 한준호 선수 준 쫙 한번 들어주세요. 끝까지 쫙 한번.
오.
이거 약간
이거-
박진효 스타일이거든요.
이거 커스터마이징에 있는 헤어 같은데.
네. 주술사가 가지고 있는 이 태그 매치에서의 역할. 이 주술사는 도대체 태그 매치에서 뭐 하는 역할을 하는 거예요?
일단은 지금 주술사는 화력이죠.
화력이디오?
화력.
딜.
화력이디오.
네, 화력이고요.
네.
네, 2구.
그리고 이제 우리 팀을 스킬을 초기화해주는 이제 잠깐만요. 사룡새도만 생각하고 있어.
이거.
어쨌든 시간 왜곡과 그리고 그 나머지 공중 콤보 같은 것들을 이용을 한 데미지 딜링이 주 역할이다.
네.
뭐 이렇게 봐야 되는 거죠?
네.
뭐 그거 말고는 따로 역할이 없습니까? 그것만 잘하면 돼요?
네, 그것만 잘하면 돼요.
간단하네요.
네. 이게
네.
대표적으로 이제 저희 팀원을 살리기 위해서는 이제 항마진 스킬이라고
그렇죠?
저희 팀원이 타겟팅이 안 잡히게 하는 스킬이 있고 근데 주술사의 그 항마진의 단점은 공중에 있을 때 적용이 안 된다는 점.
그렇죠.
또 하나를 들자면 진압, 미는 스킬이
그렇죠.
있잖아요.
진압이 어떻게 보면 좀 명장면을
그렇죠.
좀 많이 만들었어요.
그렇죠.
진압으로 인해서 이제 상대방이 공격하고 있는 걸 밀어내서 우리 팀에 잠깐 1, 2초라도 살릴 수만 있으면은 도망갈 시간을 줄 수 있으니까 그런 식으로 이제 파티원들을 보호를 해줘요. 대부분 주술사들은 암흑을 많이 쓰죠.
네.
저항을 많이 쓰는 이유가 상태 이상 스킬이 많은 직업이 아니에요.
네.
그렇기 때문에 한 번에 공격을 하고 이제 한 번을 버티는 식으로 게임을 플레이하기 때문에 이 저항이라는 스킬을 빼게 되면은 방어적으로 할 수 있는 플레이가 좀 더 줄어들죠.
한준호 선수가 이제 기본적으로 주술사 비무를 하려면 요 정도 무공 연계는 알아야 한다. 요거를 좀 이렇게 알려줄 건데요.
네.
혹시 실패하시면 눈썹 한쪽 지울 수 있냐고.
에이
그러시는데.
설마 지금
뭐,
실제
아니-
눈썹 아니었어요?
예?
네, 여쭤본 거예요.
네. 갈게요.
네,
네.
가시죠.
이것도 이유고.
셋,
아니 실패는 할 수 있죠.
가시죠. 둘, 셋, 둘, 셋,
아니에요.
잠깐만.
하나, 둘.
물티슈 주세요.
상대방이 공격을 해왔을 때 대체를 하는 방법에 대한 콤보를
제일 좋은 게 뭐냐면 마력이 있을 때가 대부분 많기 때문에 이렇게 뛰었어요. 그럼 호출을 하고 이렇게 도망가면 빠르죠.
그렇죠.
호출을 하고
화면 아예 돌려서.
네, 화면을 돌려야 되는 이유는 상대가 뒤에서 어떻게 따라오나 그걸 보기 위해서.
결계 쓰면 묶이고 안 뜨는 이유가 뭐죠? 라고 이렇게 질문을 해주셨는데
제가 아까
뭔가 비트 같은 느낌이
기본적인
있을 수
콤보에서
네.
경계배기하고 우좌우라고 했잖아요.
우좌우.
네. 수라, 흑염룡, 수라하고 띄우셔야 돼요.
그쵸.
여기서 흑염룡
우자우파
그렇죠.
네,
우좌우
그런 느낌이에요.
결계 딱 이제 해서
네.
공중까지.
우자 하면은 늦었어요.
우자 하면 안 되군요.
우자고 할게요.
우좌우 딱.
좋았다.
그렇죠.
느낌이 있었다. 윤정 선수입니다.
아니야. 내가 그것도 모를 거 아니 내가 말을 들어보니까
아니를 원래 이렇게 많이 사용합니까?
사람의 입에서 당연히 나올 수밖에 없는 거야.
에이 컴퓨터잖아요.
아니.
벌써 두 번 또 썼네요.
이러면은 비공포가 또 돌아오죠. 빅노를 이기고 이제 그때 그렇게 됐지.
말은 놓지 마시고요.
맞아. 말을 놓을 거예요, 정신을 놓을 거예요. 둘 중에 하나만 놓죠.
근데 이게 둘 다 어떻게 될지 몰라서 일단 한번 보면서.
Welcome back to blade&soul Korea Wildcards. We're finally at the last match of the day. If you've been sticking with us from the first match all the way to now, congrats to you, because it's been a long run, and
Yeah.
you know, we had a lot of matches with the 8 teams facing out one by one to get to really just sort it out to these last 2 teams. But in the end, it was actually exactly what we had predicted with IDEPS and Coup d'etat with being the 2 strongest teams of the 8 teams that we've been introduced to. So here we are, Coup d'etat, IDEPS to decide it all to get that who gets that 3rd spot into the World Championship.
Yeah, and in the second half, if you guys have been with us, the first 2 match of the second half has been a 6-0 sweep. But now Coup d'etat versus IDEPS, I just want to say that it's probably most likely not going to be a sweep at all. But, who knows who's going to win, because IDEPS has, history of beating Coup d'etat in the past. But as you guys saw today, Coup d'etat has upgraded 1 level. Their teamwork has upgraded, and now they are ready to go take that spot, that last spot into World Champions.
And Coup d'etat, one step further is what they have really placed themselves into. But IDEPS, it's more about them staying just as strong as they were in the Korea finals. And that's the difference we're really just seeing from these 2 teams. But Coup d'etat, they're really thinking that even with Yeon Kim really just molding into this team, they think they are ready enough to beat out IDEPS and be that 3rd representative for Korea. But IDEPS, they're really thinking onto their head. We beat you in the Korea final, so we can do it again is exactly probably what they're thinking. And I think that's going to be a really good argument towards the both sides as to whose argument is the better argument this time around.
Well, yeah, IDEPS, they definitely have the right to say that, because they do have the history and they do have the VODs to prove to us that they did beat Coup d'etat. But now it's time for Coup d'etat to say, yes, that was our old self.
Yeah.
That was when we were still getting our stuff together and making our teamwork actually work. But now we are ready. So now both of them have something to prove to each other. IDEPS to prove that we are stronger.
Yeah.
We beat you once, we're gonna beat you twice.
Yeah.
Coup d'etat, yes, that was back in the day. Now we will beat you and come back and take that spot away from you. So we'll have to see which team will grab that last spot.
I think this matchup really reminds me of the GC Busan Red versus GC Busan Blue, with the most recent one that we had for the Korea finals. The last match of that tournament was that GC Busan Red have been disappointing for Season 1 and Season 2, and coming up to Korea finals, they have shown heaps of improvement.
Oh, yeah.
And really getting back to their old selves of their legendary status that each of those players were. But really, GC Busan Red being in that state with GC Busan Blue having performed pretty well and pretty on par of how they did in Season 1 and Season 2. They couldn't beat out GC Busan Red in the end, and Red, with the improvements that they got, they were the victors at the end. So we might get a similar story here. IDEPS seem very similarly strong, and that's not an understatement, because they have been very good in the Korea finals, and we see them in this state of being similar at the end of the Korea finals until now. But Coup d'etat, we definitely saw an improvement in this team. So whether that will have played a difference, we have to find out in this match coming up.
Yeah, so basically within these 2 teams, IDEPS could be the GC Busan Blue against Coup d'etat being GC Busan Red, and now Coup d'etat has come back with more improvements for their teamwork. So let's see if that is actually going to work against their enemy, their rival, IDEPS.
And also, to be fair, we have to mention the fact that Coup d'etat during this wildcard matches that we had today, this is the 3rd match of the day, but they haven't faced off against a team that is as strong as IDEPS, obviously, because they have gone against a little bit of the weaker teams, with CSK being the weakest team that they faced, and they faced off against but that was a little bit of a under-struggle compared to what IDEPS represents. So against a much tougher team, will their improvement be good enough to beat them out? It's going to be a lot of speculation as to really what that will turn out to be.
Yeah, and I'm glad that you mentioned, about their skill levels, because this is what a final should be. Even though it's just the finals for the wild cards to take that spot, to take that last spot for World Championships. But this is actually a good finals matchup.
It is. I definitely agree. Even without the GC Busan, this would be a very entertaining finals match for any tournament. But we do have Game 1 set for you guys. Jung Yoon is going to be the first man up, trying to make that clear statement against Yeon Kim on the Blade Dancer. So if you just looked at us a month before, back in when the Korean finals ended and when Yeon Kim was a little bit disappointing, we would definitely give the card over to Jung Yoon, get the victory here. But It's definitely a different Byung Kim now, and he hasn't made any significant mistakes, and he has performed pretty well on the Blade Dancer. So whether he can really translate on to that, to face off against Jung Yoon, it's going to be another question that he has to answer for himself.
Yeah, we'll have to keep our ears open to hear for the dinks that, you know, Byung Kim reflects and, you know, counter stuns Jung Yoon. If he's able to get a couple of those, yes, he will definitely take the advantage. But if he's unable to get some of those reflex and, you know, Jung Yoon keeps his distance, he might just PvE him or poke him down slowly like, you know, he's playing against a destroyer.
And just another thing about Jung Yoon is that even though Byung Kim has improved since the Korea finals, the thing about Jung Yoon is he never really has a bad game. And it just seems like always every match that he plays up to his standard that he sets for himself, and just everything that we kind of consist together. So I think we're back onto us. So hi once again. So we're back. It seems like they're trying to figure some stuff. I'm trying to look through the booth to see any type of thing. Nothing really going on for Coup d'etat. Might be on the G.
I think the computers under our booth, or the booth under us, is the problem today. Every time we come back from a break, we have this technical difficulty, and we always look over towards that booth, and there's no problem going on there. So we do. It seems like, you know, the computers or the booth or the players that play under us always seems to have a problem with the computer. But, you know, what can we say? We want them to perform as best as possible in their comfortable, you know, setting. So we have to give them time.
If any of you from Twitch chat is predominantly hacking our OGN computers, I will find you, and I will give you a high five just to say, you know, dude, you did a pretty good job of breaking OGN security. So, but whatever the case may be, whatever the case may be, we're getting some little downtime and trying to figure out some solutions for the players. As we said, I think we're ready. So let's get on to game one. See if we're gonna get right onto it. Let's get it on. And indeed, the problem has been resolved. So, first game is underway. Byung Kim against Jung Yoon. Lots of cheers coming for both sides here.
Alright, Phantom grips by Byung.
Kim putting in that aerial knockdown. I'll get into another aerial as Jung Yoon finding no answer so far. But Jung Yoon's playstyle throughout this wildcards event has been like this. He's kept quiet and really has shown no resilience through the first parts of the game. But once he gets to the mid part and to the late parts of the game, he figures out his opponent and really finds the answers to what needs to be done to get the victory.
Yeah, and Tab Escape is used on Byung-woo's side. Jungwoo still has his Tab Escape and many freezes. And there we go, throws him out. No Tab Escapes. He's going to take a lot of damage right now.
The stun is coming out. The
Ice Burst.
Ice Burst is coming up.
All right, Jungwoo, he's going to wait for that timing with the Meteor. We've seen this before with the Glacial Beam.
This is a good combo. He's basically invented a new combo going into the second ring knockup. There's no way to counter that. The Frost Burst onto the initial Meteor Strike, then getting the stun later. It's really just an invincible combo that really can't be deflected by any means.
All right, but Byung Kim is coming back, and Jungwoo took a lot of damage.
Very close, actually.
Jungwoo is out of all of his games.
He doesn't have an escape. So this might be a chance for Byung Kim. So will he finish him off? Jungwoo will he be knocked out for the first time today? He just survives, but it's gonna be good enough to finish him off with Byung Kim. Picks out that first win. Gets the congratulations. Gets the applause from his teammates, and wow, Jungwoo, I thought he had the win there.
Yeah, I thought he had it in the bag, but that back roll, and you know, Jungwoo didn't have the CC to chase him when Byung Kim back rolled, so that bought Byung Kim the time to Phantom grip him and make his move instead, because he knew they both didn't have their escapes. So the first one to make the move after the back roll. So if that chase happened when Byung Kim back roll, Jungwoo definitely had it in the bag. But no CC to chase after that back roll.
And you saw in the end where Jungwoo was out of all of his escape in the end. This was because he uses all of his escape as an offensive tool most of the time, because he knows, he calculates the damage that he's going to put output onto his teammate, onto his opponents, but he knew right there, he thought that he was going to finish him off. So, you know, not having all that available, he now panics into a mode where taking all of the damage, he didn't expect that he was going to be in this even of a state, and he's back out with all this escape. But in the end,
Yep.
It's all about Jung Yoon not having enough escapes to get away from Byeonukim's damage.
That was just... It was well played on both sides.
Very,
it was
very well.
very fun game to watch.
Yeah.
But, you know, unfortunately for Jung Yoon,
Wow.
this time around, he does not get the victory.
Is coup d'etat ready to represent Worlds?
Wow.
Oh, this is just so
Yeah.
exciting because Jung Yoon is probably the last player that I'd expected to lose out in the singles, let alone against what I considered the weakest player in coup d'etat with Byeonukim. But
Yeah.
so
Exactly.
much surprise in one game because Byeonukim having to prove himself, and he's going over multiple hurdles to really just prove himself as a player, and maybe as a player, you know, capable and worthy enough to be a member of coup d'etat, but definitely proving his worth today, all in every question that we throw at him, every just kind of conception, every kind of we have curiosity we have of Byeonukim, he's really answering that in a positive of ways. And just everything that he does, it's just become so spectacularly beneficial for this entire coup d'etat squad.
Yeah, and Byeonukim at the end, you know, Jung Yoon getting caught by Byeonukim's raid. I don't know if it was Jung Yoon's mistake or Byeonukim's well-played or outplayed play. But, you know, either way, Byeonukim does get the victory, like you said. And the second matchup, we have Shinhancard versus Sang-woo Kim, and Shinhancard is back on his Soul Fighter.
And he's definitely not playing the assassin, not trolling this time
Yeah.
around. This is a very serious mode because Shinhancard, he knows that he has to take the victory. Every point is important because it is against IDEPS, and it's going to bring out the Soul Fighter to hopefully bring another point over to coup d'etat. And we're going to go on to game 2 very, very shortly with Shinhancard on the Soul Fighter going up against Sang-woo Kim on the assassin with IDEPS. And coup d'etat really happening underway, so let's get it on. And no matter, you know, how this actually turns out to be result-wise, no matter which team comes out on top to be that third seed ownership here, I think both teams really are deserving to represent Korea at the World Championship. They would be completely deserving to do so, and they would do it in the best of ways. So really, we can't really side for any specific team here. Really want both teams to do well here.
Oh, takes him out of stealth. Shinhyun Kim, wow. Windstorm combo right there. There you go, he is. He is playing his Soul Fighter the way he should play, but he gets close shave with the bomb on his back.
Oh, Sang-woo Kim really throwing a counter punch towards Shinhancard Kim. He's not going to take a free damage for nothing. Webbing onto the landmine does connect. Another bombard coming up, so Shinhancard Kim, he can heal back up, but for the meantime, he takes a lot of damage onto him.
Alright, leaf is used. Stealth is left. Shinhancard Kim's
Another
escape
stun.
is used. Oh
There's
no,
no
Shinhancard
escape
Kim
opportunity for Shinhancard Kim now. Sang-woo Kim could finish him off.
escapes.
Another
He's the
stun.
Soul Fighter. Oh,
would be
into the
good, but it's
Windstorm
actually
combo.
Shinhancard Kim putting up with the counter damage though. The landmine is put down.
Knocks
He's
him
going to be
down.
knocking down. Whether he can connect that onto a stun, we'll have to see. It doesn't happen that time around.
Alright, there we go. 13 more seconds for Shinhancard Kim to get his tab escape back. And you know, Shinhancard Kim is healing up little by little. A lot more heal compared to Sang-woo Kim's
Definitely, yeah.
assassin. So the Sang-woo Kim will get his leaf back in 10 seconds.
Sang-woo Kim going aggressively, knowing the timer on that cooldown. Kim, the body swap does happen for the
back row
assassin.
chase.
Sang-woo Kim does very well to chase that away from him. And the poison breath into the air. This might be enough damage to finish him off. Will he though?
Ooh, time escapes out. He heals
He
himself.
heals back just in time.
Nice.
And Shin Kim does not go down for free. And
Yep.
Sang-woo Kim does not finish him off right there.
Ooh, ground ripple connects. Sang-woo Kim's Lotus of Escape has been used, and 20 more seconds for Shinhancard Kim's tab escape to come
Yep.
back. He does not want to get CC'd now. He might just get one comboed right now if he does get CC'd.
Shin Kim
Put
knowing
him out of
this.
stealth.
Oh, that's the
doesn't
stun! He doesn't connect with Sang-woo Kim, avoids all of those strikes that he has been throwing out. Now this is going to be enough damage to finish him off. So a big applause going out to Sang-woo Kim.
Sang-woo Kim was dancing on the floor right there.
He outclassed Shin Kim on the Soul Fighter. That is a spectacular thing and he does feel it. We see on Shin Kim's face, this is not a usual expression we see from this guy. He has been outclassed, and Sang-woo Kim, as still
It's
as
not
he looks.
outclassed, it's just outplayed. He was doing the salsa on the
Oh my goodness.
Oh wow, that was
Watching everything.
that should be a replay right there.
It's worth it.
Someone clip that. No, that was very well played. I don't know if Sang-woo Kim meant to do it, but
I'm sure he did.
Yeah, I'm pretty. Yeah, he probably noticed that he was trying to take him out of stealth. But
Yeah.
oh gosh, that was
See that in
fun
the
to
replay.
watch.
That was really, really nice.
Yeah, the juke is real.
And but all the props to Sound Kim
Yeah.
because people would have expected Shinhan Kim to come out on top because of the comparative matchups that we've seen from these two players time and time again. Shinhan Kim always had the edge over this player from multiple occasions, but Sound Kim, he's definitely stepping it up this time because he knows so much is on the line. Just getting a few more wins through this series could get them into the World Championship slot. Dancing, dancing onto that stun, the bomb by that's enough to finish him off.
Yeah.
Beautiful play by Sang Kim on there.
Gotta applaud the guy who actually got this highlight play.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you. I love seeing that. But yeah, well played by Sang Kim, not giving Kureta a 2-0 win. And as I said, this matchup will not be a sweep.
It definitely will not be, and you've already been proved wrong with 1-1 already coming forth, really avoiding us of that 6-0 sweep. But just all in all, very evenly matched, as we expected from the very beginning of this wild cards tournament. Is that Kureta and Idas, we expected these guys to come into the finals to make that one last match. But right now, 1-1, we're gonna go on to the tag match. We're gonna see Hyogo Kwon
Back
on the Warlock, and Shinhan Kim is gonna stay on the Soul Fighter.
So this is the composition that I kind of personally dislike.
Yeah,
Kureta playing.
definitely.
But I guess this is their more serious pick because they are going. This is their last chance. Well, not this set, but this game, this series is their last series. If they lose, they're not going to represent Korea. So I guess this is more of their serious pick.
Just based on statistics, though, Shinhan Kim going with the Soul Fighter in a tag match has not come to good results most of the time.
Yeah.
And definitely when he did pick the Warlock, he had much better results. But whether he can pull it off with the rest of his team, Kureta is going to be going up against Idas in Game 3, the tag match coming right your way. Let's get it on. Whenever a team makes a composition, it is very discussed throughout the team. And every teammate has to agree on the strategy that they're really going to bring for a specific game. And Shinhan Kim probably making his voice heard of wanting to play the Soul Fighter, making one into a redemption for the loss that he just faced in Game 2. But like we said, statistically, it hasn't been too many wins for Kureta. Let's see. Do it again. That'll be the question here.
Yep, Jung-Yoon gets into the aerial, he does make Kureta waste and interfere by freezing himself when the offensive interfere comes in and takes out that tap escape from Shinhan Kim, and time distortion is used, gives Shinhan Kim back his cooldowns.
So another defensive interfere coming in. Yep. For the side of Kureta.
Ooh, Windstorm combo, defensive interfere coming in from Idef's side this time around.
I think it was a fantastic choice to go with Jung-Yoon as the first pick against Shinhan Kim.
Yeah.
Because the Force Master can stay relatively healthy, not take too much poke damage from the Force Master. And the Soul Fighter, Shinhan Kim.
Oh, he's doing a lot of damage. Meteor!
Dude, the Meteor is going to be putting a little bit of damage there. I say little, but that is actually a lot more damage than what I expected from there.
Alright, another offensive interfere coming in from Idef, and Shinhan Kim is forced to tag out.
So not very successful first round for Shinhan Kim on that Soul Fighter, as we keep mentioning, but hasn't been to many success. But
if
what
you
do you want to
notice,
say there?
but if you notice, Idef is playing the same way they did before. They are using a lot of their resources early on. They've already used 4 interfere points total.
Very true.
So we'll see if that will pay off later in the game.
Warlock,
but Jung-Yoon taking a lot of damage.
He has to. Jung-Yoon is not the player you want out first for the side of Idef, and that is a complete. And they want to really just risk this and really go for this force tag. The cross burst is a clever way to get that force tag, negating any type of chase opportunities for Kureta, and Hyogo Kwon really knows that and really knocking him on the head for not being able to get that done. But Sang Kim trying to put them damage.
Yeah, let's see if Hyogo Kwon's Warlock has improved for this tag team, because Hyogo Kwon's Warlock has been kind of a resident sleeper in the past.
Yeah, but another stun coming up from Sang Kim. Wow. Hyogo Kwon finding no answers against this assassin. Sang Kim has been playing one of the best games that we've seen from him in the entire 2017. Just everything about him has been connecting, and it really just another level that we haven't seen from him very recently.
Yeah, very long time actually, to be honest, because he's only been called the online god, and we always told Sang-Ho Kim to prove himself on the offline scene, and he's slowly doing it.
Definitely.
But
I mean, we've seen him online, and we've seen his potential of what he can do with an assassin. But it was always a conditional phrase that if he can bring that to the offline stage, that would bring him a lot of success, and I think he's been really doing that today.
Yeah, he has been working towards that goal right now, and you know, same thing for Hyegu. He does show us very good performances with Blade Dancer and Destroyer, but every time he's on the Warlock, I kind of get the feels that, you know, he's still not ready enough. He's not bad, but he's not at that level yet to, you know, help out his team, to carry his team. For example, like Shinhyun Kim or Juno Han on the Warlock.
Yeah, but like, I think I want to add to that. It's just a matter of confidence that he has in the Warlock is very, very different to when he plays the Destroyer or the Blade Dancer, which we see so much confidence on when he does go with those picks. But Shinhyun Kim, this is the reason why he had to go with the Warlock, because Shinhyun Kim on the Soul Fighter means that you need to require a Warlock for the team, and Hyegu Kwon has to take that toll of doing so. So unless Shinhyun Kim really can make the value of the Soul Fighter count, that Warlock pick will go to no use.
Yep, Shinhyun Kim is out, but you know, I gotta say, Hyegu Kwon did save his tag, so he was able to stay out long enough to get that force tag out.
Okay, this is gonna be Shinhyun Kim's strike onto Jung Won-yoon now. I think really the coup d'etat's initial objective is to knock off Jung Won-yoon, because, you know, without a Force Master, coup d'etat really knows that they have a much higher chance to win compared to if Jung Won-yoon was available for the team.
Shinhyun Kim is actually trying to push Jung Won-yoon into the corner, but he ends up using his tab escape.
Okay, so Jung Won-yoon tags out very smartly. Kim really trying to finish up Shinhyun Kim as he did in game 2. Trying to do that again. Byung Kim on the Blade Dancer coming in from the defensive interfere.
Yeah, perfect communication, because Shinhyun Kim did not have his tab escape, so Byung Kim had to come in.
Yeah, this is a very good play, because Shinhyun Kim on the Soul Fighter realizes he is really out-favored against the assassin of Sang-Ho Kim, so as soon as he sees him, he doesn't take much time to tag back out, so already 2 tag points being used already just because of the presence of Sang-Ho Kim when he's playing the Soul Fighter.
Yeah, now Soul Fighter will have 2 interferes left on his side to make it. I'm hoping an offensive interfere, but we'll have to see what happens. Hyegu Kim lands that Tether Blade, but unable to connect after that.
So Duggan Kang came up with that defensive interfere on that Blade Tester himself, so Hyegu Kwon, the Warlock, hasn't proven much yet. He's going to have to do a lot more if he's going to get this crucial 2 points for this game 3. Sang-Ho Kim doing everything right though.
Ooh, another Tether Blade lands, forcing that tab escape from Sang-Ho Kim. Stealth is finally out for Sang-Ho Kim.
Sang-Ho Kim going aggressively though. Landmine will likely connect, but he's into that shackles at the same time.
Oh,
Poison Breath.
Now it's time.
Time distortion. And this might be a chance for Sang-Ho Kim to go in strong. He's on that stealth mode right now.
Yeah, 15 seconds left until he does get that stealth back. Sanctum is put down. Bombard.
He's trying to just target the familiar for most of this case, but might be a good chance for Hyegu Kwon to put in that damage.
10 seconds left until that force tag. 8. Sang-Ho Kim, it just seems like he's trying to last that, save that tag.
Yeah, and if Sang-Ho Kim can really accomplish this, the very close distance is not very good. This is very, very bad. A crucial mistake. Mike knock out Jung Won-yoon, but he survives. And if he just tags back out, he will be fine. But that was a huge mistake for Sang-Ho Kim, because he did not distance himself for that force tag coming up, and it was a very easy chase coming up for a coup d'etat.
Yeah, very well played on coup d'etat side. Look at their health. This is what happens when you have a Soul Fighter. Like, super heals. But either way, yeah, that was very close for Jung Won-yoon. And if you notice on IDEP side, IDEP side, nobody has an interfere point. The next 15 seconds, they'll get 1 interfere point at the 3-minute mark.
Byung Kim coming in with Shinhyun Kim, trying to put that offensive interfere.
This is the last chance.
This is their chance to really knock him out. Duggan Kang needs to be knocked off here. Will it be enough? The lightning draw does happen. Will it be enough damage? He has that tag point, and he does use it. And Sang-Ho Kim does come back out into the field.
And now everybody gets an interfere point back, but two players on the bench for IDEMS
Oh.
have so little health. Do they want to interfere in? Maybe
I
you know,
think
put
you have
themselves
to.
in danger.
Just a defensive interfere might be the only option there, but Hyuga Kwon, other than him, the entire side of Coup d'etat doesn't have any attack point available. Sang Kim is also the only player in the side of IDEFs who has the attack point, with the other two players really having that and the absence aside.
And Duggan Kang finally used his last interfere point that he got at the 3-minute mark. So now we only have Jungwoo Yoon's interfere point left.
Oh,
Jungwoo
this
Yoon
is the
interferes
Jungwoo-
in and dies!
Oh, this is tragedy for IDEFs because, you know, Sang Kim, he gets up into the air, and of course the right thing to do was to save him with that interfere, but Coup d'etat kind of read that coming. They knew exactly who was going to come in, and they knew that both of the teammates that he had were on low health. So it was a very easy kill, a very predictable defensive interfere coming from Jungwoo Yoon, and that really led to quick 2 kills, which eventually ended the game.
Yeah. And back-to-back kills right off the bat, for them having so little health.
Yeah.
And Coup d'etat, if you notice, they basically almost had, all 3 of them almost had full health. So,
True.
Having Soul Fighter, that's the benefit of keeping your team healthy. But like you saw, they have to beat the whole team, their opponent. They do not want to go down to the TKO with the Soul Fighter. And good thing that they did. They take away the 2 points away from IDEFs, and now Coup d'etat is up 3-1.
And from our observation, I think it was mostly due to Sang Kim. He was really aggressive on the familiar when the Warlock was out, and that just gave a free shot for the Warlock to get him into the shackles into the air for that so much damage that can come with the offensive interfere as well. So he did that twice.
Yeah.
And that second time was even crucial in the end, which knocked off Jungwoo Yoon and also Sang Kim himself into the air. So a different choice and different decision making was the fault of Sang Kim there, but if he had done something differently, I think he played pretty well overall. I think those decision making really became critical for this team.
Yeah, those little things that matter.
Yeah.
Because when your team all have more than 50% health, those little decisions may not matter too much. But when you see your teammates have like 10% health, 5% health, you don't want to force them to use their interfere and put themselves in danger to save you. So like you said. But now we will be going on to set 4. Hyuga Kwon back on the assassin.
He's feeling too comfortable. That's the only thing I can really interpret from the situation. His team's up 3-1, as you mentioned, but Hyuga Kwon on the assassin, somehow he feels something that we don't. We think his assassin isn't the best in the world. We think he has so many other better classes that he could be playing instead of the assassin. But somehow, from the knowledge that we're not aware of somehow, he thinks his assassin is the best pick to go around sometimes.
Yeah. Or maybe it's like, reverse psychology, because, Hyuga Kwon is known for his Disjointer and Blade Dancer. And it just seems as if he's not that confident in the Warlock. So maybe he's bringing out the assassin to, play that reverse psychology trick. And the music has changed. We will be getting into our set 4. Let's get it on.
After getting a win, to get that 3-1 advantage, Coup d'etat is back with Hyuga Kwon on the assassin versus Duggan Kang on the KFM.
Yeah, so basically Duggan Kang's main KFM versus Hyuga Kwon's 4th pick.
Fourth party, yeah.
Yep. So we'll see what happens with this pick.
Just flying up in the air, looking for the initial strike onto both sides, but Duggan Kang is the first victim of that. Being already used to, forced to use the tab escape already. But Duggan Kang trying to put the counter punch onto him.
Nice.
Yeah. So now they're pretty even in terms of escapes.
Okay, they're both out of all of their escape.
Yep.
Duggan Kang's Emit Frost is not useful
Body
against
swap
her.
onto the stun, into the bombard, double bombard into the aerial.
He knows.
There's gonna be a lot of damage onto the webbing now.
Hyuga Kwon knows.
Wow,
He
Hyuga
has
Kwon
little time
showing
left.
class. 6 seconds.
He
Can he
knows.
finish him off in time?
He knows.
Duggan Kang is eliminated by Hyuga Kwon's assassin, and the tilt begins.
Oh, Hyuga Kwon, that was good calculation. I don't know if he did or his teammate actually calculated for him, but he knew that he calculated it exactly. He's like 15 seconds, 10 seconds. 5 seconds. He was going. You could see the assassin's movement. He was in a hurry to finish him off before Duncan Ken got his tab escape back.
And it's
Well
just really
played.
about whether that assassin will come forward. It's 2 for 2 today.
Yeah.
So good enough.
Yeah.
Good enough to say that it is a confident pick for him now. And, you know, Hyuga Kwon is not about to destroy anymore. He's not about the Blade Dancer. He hasn't played the Blade Dancer forever, to be fair.
Yeah,
and now he is back on the assassin. And he's 2 for 2 today.
Yeah, so if you notice, like, he revs him and takes him off the whip right away, and like he's so busy, he knows there's like 3 seconds left, so he had to finish it off.
Spamming every button in the keyboard to make that happen. So Hyuga Kwon, if you're an assassin, knowing your opponent doesn't have all that escape available, and go for that final finishing strike. But coup d'etat, as you can see on the screen, they're very, very happy about the situation. 4-1 is a huge lead, especially against a very evenly matched opponent like IDEPS is. And IDEPS now, they're under that pressure of coming back with so much hurdle they have to overcome to get that point right back to even. This is going to be the second singles now in this series, but Shinhancard Kim
On the Blade Dancer, I'm gonna say, you may be surprised, but Shinhancard Kim is actually known or got famous for his Blade Dancer. This is his main. That was his first main character, Blade Dancer.
The beginning of the chronicle of Shinhancard Kim was with the Blade Dancer.
Exactly. So Shinhancard Kim started with the Blade Dancer, so don't be surprised. Him playing the assassin is actually more of a surprise. But Blade Dancer, I'm not surprised because this was his first main character.
He played 4 classes in one day.
Yeah.
That's Shinhancard Kim for you guys.
Yeah, that's Shinhancard Kim. And even Hyuga Kwon, assassin, like, I've never expected Hyuga Kwon to perform so well with the assassin, and the music has changed, and we will see Shinhancard Kim's Blade Dancer against Jung Woo-yoon's Force Master in this next matchup. Let's get it on.
Okay, I officially give up. I don't know Shinhancard Kim anymore. You know, I thought I knew him. He does play the Soul Fighters when he's excited. He plays a Warlock when he needs to win. He plays Assassin when he's just having fun.
Yeah,
Blade Dancer?
Blade Dancer.
What is that for?
He's reminiscing the back in the days.
Taking us back to the days.
Yes, back in the days. Back to the future. And he is doing work on Jung Woo-yoon. Unfortunately, he is out of his tab escape, though.
It's so funny to
knock-up.
see Shinhancard Kim's name above a Blade Dancer. It's so unique.
Yeah. Well, 15 seconds until Shinhancard Kim gets his tab escape back.
Doesn't knock him out though. Jung Woo-yoon avoids that.
Ooh, look at that lightning draw initiate. Look at that.
We don't see that from a conventional Blade Dancer combination, but Jung Woo-yoon.
But 3 seconds until Shinhancard Kim has to keep taking damage from Jung Woo-yoon. He gets it back. He gets his tab escape back.
Jung Woo-yoon putting the damage now. That damage onto the wall bang is starting to occur, and it might be enough damage to finish up.
There we go.
The Force Master, it could be finishing him off with just one little strike, but
Alright, Shinhancard Kim has to time this very precisely.
very, very tough. Though.
One wrong move, he's gonna just die.
Very,
There we go.
Might be the
First, he
beginning of
buys
it.
some time. There we go. He buys some time.
And he doesn't use the lightning draw this time around, but cheeky.
Okay, so
strike
Shinhancard
from
Kim
the back.
backstepped away, thinking Jung Woo-yoon might use his tab escape to knock him back, but instead, Jung Woo-yoon doesn't use his tab escape and just drag him.
See, I'm telling you, this guy is a troll. That's what he's doing. Look at that face. How can you express that face? Look at Joey. He's the winner. He's not smiling. Look at that. Shinhancard Kim is legit trolling us in the Blade and Soul tournament.
Well, to be honest, I didn't mention this before this match started.
Okay.
But this match didn't really matter for coup d'etat whether they win or lose,
That's true,
they,
yes.
they don't get the victory for winning this singles. So you know the next set 6, the next last 2 tag matches are what is actually worth playing seriously for. But I didn't want to mention that because, you know, Shinhancard Kim was going back to his Blade Dancer, which is, it's a fact that it was his main in the beginning of the Blade and Soul scene when Shinhancard Kim first came into it. But, you know, he hasn't played the Blade Dancer in a very, very long time.
I see you, Andy, trying to keep that excitement going by not giving us the truth of what was going on. So, thank you very much for keeping the excitement going for that useless game that we just saw. But one useful fact that we did earn was that his Blade Dancer is not great.
Yeah.
Come on, can we not agree with that?
No, it's not. It's not bad. I don't think it's bad. It's just rusty.
It's not great.
Yeah, it's very rusty.
Against Jung Yoon,
Yeah.
Shinhancard's Blade Dancer doesn't work, and it is a fact now.
Yeah. And now we will be going into our potentially the last set.
Yep.
If this set is won by Kudeta, Kudeta is keeping their composition. If Kudeta wins this round, they win and they take the last spot for the world champions.
And
World
really true, and Kudeta just one step away from that, and they're going with that same composition that we saw in Game 3 with Hyokwon on the Warlock and Shinhancard going back to that Soul Fighter and really thinking that it works with the constant healing that it does for his teammates. Of course, the Jung Yoon's Force Dancer does heals for it well, but it is not to the same potential of what a Soul Fighter can do. So really strategizing against them, thinking that Shinhancard's Soul Fighter will out-heal their opponents and eventually get them to a KO. And of course, the TKO will probably go towards the IDEF side.
And I just want to mention, because I didn't get to mention, I hope you guys noticed, starting today we haven't been using the Hongmoon alts preparing for the Worlds, because we won't be having alts in the Worlds as well, and the music has changed. We will be going into our potentially the last set. Let's get it on.
I love how you make such a major announcement in a matter of 2 seconds that we're not going to have Hongmoon ults in the World Championship. Thank you for the ending live. We now know through your 2-second announcement that we're not going to have Hongmoon ults in the World Championship. So to make it fair.
If you went to go pee, you might have missed it.
Hey, but now you know. Because to be fair, the NA region and the EU region, they got the Hongmoon ults introduced to them much later than the Korean servers, and it didn't have as much practice time, and it's such a difference maker what Hongmoon ult can represent. They want to keep it even, they want to keep it fair, so
as fair as possible.
That's true.
Because the release of the game itself was very delayed for many of the regions as well, so they're trying to keep it as fair as possible, and they're trying their best. But now we are in to our potentially the last set, set 6. And both sides have used 2 interferes already within the first 40 seconds.
That was very quick because Shinhancard and Jung Yoon, they know how to heal themselves up, so they don't necessarily need help most of the time. So 2 interfere is a lot, especially because it's a defensive reactionary interfere that's coming from both sides. Really early tag out from Shinhancard onto Byung-woo. Kim now on the Blade Dancer.
Yep, so the resource of tag Kudeta is used first, but now Jung Yoon tags out, making it even.
The third interfere, we actually 2v2 coming in. Blade Dancer's gotta get him up, and Jung Yoon putting a lot of damage onto Byung-woo with the help of the Blade Dancer, Duggan Kang knocking him up into the aerial. So a lot of good damage coming in from Jung Yoon's interfere there.
Alright, Duggan Kang's Blade Dancer versus Byung-woo Kim's Blade Dancer.
Oh, the lightning draw connects! And Duggan Kang looking very confident now. He feels very good about the situation. Sound Kim wants to finish him up, but definitely Kudeta's not going to allow that.
I don't think it's a good idea for Byung-woo Kim to stay out, even though he had his tap escape when Sound Kim is out with the assassin.
Hyokwon did pretty well in Game 3. Wasn't stellar, to be fair, but did what he needed to do. Can he do it again against Sound Kim now?
Yep, Hyokwon is out of his tab escape because he got chased. 20 more seconds until he gets it back. Sound Kim is out of both escapes.
This might be the beginning of the shackles into the air. That's going to be a lot of damage. Defensive interfere does negate that damage. It's going to be a start of his own damage, but it doesn't really come to fruition there.
Yeah, Jung Yoon, very nice
So many
defensive
tag points
interferes.
to use,
They want to go all out. They don't want to miss out a chance, or they want to create opportunities ASAP and, catch the opponent off guard.
That's true. Jung Yoon frees himself. Not much recovery there. Jung Kim comes in for that interfere, but
that interfere too
really useless,
Go. Trying to do something against Jung Yoon.
Joey is such good movement, sidestepping all of those skills. The shackle's really not forming to anything. The Meteor putting a little bit of damage, but taking the more damage himself. Really not making that here. This might be the beginning of his shackles into the damage, and Jung Yoon taking so much damage from the Warlock. Kwon is going to be looking for this chance. They're
Offensive
coming in.
reactionary 2v2.
Yeah, it's going to be a good damage trade for both sides. Idem's going to be very happy with that trade. Going to be forced out. Another tag and gets a chase immediately as soon as Shinhancard does come in. It's a very good play. That's a lot of damage coming in from Jungwoo-yoon.
Alright, Shinhancard has used his tab escape as well and his resistance skill. Ground Ripple connects, but he is unable to okay, tab escape is used and tags out.
Yep. Shinhancard does come back up very healthy against the Shinhancard. He's trying to knock him off quickly. If Shinhancard is the first man to be knocked out, that would be crucial, but they do not allow that. Tags out just in time. Kudeta saves Shinhancard, and Byung-Kim is brought back onto the field.
Yeah, Byung-Kim, you know, if you see the resource points, it seems pretty even.
Yep.
You know,
So many resources being used from both sides.
already, and there's still 5 minutes and 50 seconds left to the match.
Yeah.
And Kudeta's side health does not look healthy. It's not like the first tag, you know, where, you know, they beat out IDEFs with almost all of them having full health. This time around, it's the opposite way. And, you know, the resource points are lacking as well. So let's see if Kudeta will be able to pull this off or make it, or will IDEFs make it even to a 4v4?
And definitely IDES doing the better parts of the trial and error here, because they went through this composition once and they knew that if they are not aggressive against this specific composition, the other team's going to stay relatively healthy, and so they made adjustments. It's really working out for this team. The second offensive interfere coming in now with the Blade Dancer and the Soul Fighter trying to put that combo damage.
Yeah, he does a little bit, but not. It's not. That was not worth the last interfere.
Definitely,
for
yeah.
Shinhancard to come in.
Now there's no defensive opportunities if Byung-Kim does get into trouble.
Yep. They will get their interfere points back in 2 minutes.
That's a long time.
Yeah, that is a very long time.
Byung-Kim does tag back out, which means one more tag opportunity is available for Kudeta until that 3-minute mark does come through. Jungwoo-yoon does get knocked down, but it's going to be pretty safe.
Yep.
With that interfere.
Force tag.
Very good distance, negating any type of chase opportunity. So Duggan Kang comes back onto the field. Definitely we see IDEPS ahead for most of these things because the resource-wise and just overall health bars that we see from all these players, IDEPS is definitely on the advantage here. They want to carry this further and actually grab themselves a victory because they're really going to need it to get to the Game 7.
Yeah, I love how Kudeta and IDEPS both adapt to the players and depending on what set it was, because in set 3 they played it very slow, using their resources very slowly, but this time around they're using it super fast, trying to create opportunities, trying to catch the opponent off guard, and it's working better for IDEPS right now.
Using the paper, Hyuga-Kwon actually gets a knockdown in the other end. Oh, it's going to be the lightning drop, putting him in a little bit of damage. The Familia is going to take a little bit of damage, but Duggan Kang and Hyuga-Kwon both doing very well to counter the opponent's measures of what they're trying to do.
Yep, Duggan Kang has his tap escape, Hyuga-Kwon does not, but he does have his tag point left. Byung-Kim has one interference.
Oh, as soon as he comes in, put that initial amount of damage. Oh, from the bombard! Will this be enough?
Does he want to tag out? I think he
wants to tag out. He has to. And he's not going to have much time to do it. Hyuga-Kwon, he's playing with fire here because he stays in here for too long. This is very bad for him, but 10 seconds. He wants to save this tag point because he will get a free tag in 5 seconds, but Shinhancard should not allow this for the time to go. Oh, just pushing him back, and there's no way for him to attack. The chase might not be happening.
The first tag and the chase happen, forcing Shinhancard to use his tab escape right off the bat. It is not looking good. Shinhancard has to wait another 25 seconds for his tag to come back, but he's playing so aggressive right now!
Oh my goodness, Shinhancard not backing down from the fight, and Jungwoo-yoon tries to help out his teammate, but this is exactly what IDEPS really wanted to avoid because just getting that one more tag point out of Hyuga-Kwon would have been huge for their team, but saves it with that force tag, so Hyuga-Kwon very successful in holding out his tag until the very end.
Yeah, Shinhancard has to stay alive for the next minute and 10 seconds until that force tag happens. No more tag points are given. And, you know, will he be able to stay alive with Hyuga-Kwon's one defensive interfere left?
Like I say, that 1 point is available for this time being, so defensive-wise, offensive-wise, they can use it for either terms. Shinhancard doesn't really want to give his opponents any chance to work on it.
Alright, forces Shinhancard to use both of his escapes and into the area!
It might be the beginning of something, but the defensive interfere with the offensive.
Take damage.
The Blade Dancer ultimate. Blade Dancer is going to be putting a lot of damage with that lightning draw.
heals back up. That was a very good defensive.
Oh, it's gonna be that
Oh!
Shinhancard! And Shinhancard is knocked out of the match and is complete advantage going towards items. They are up 3-2.
Wow, Hyeogu Kwon does have that last tag, but
That
does he
was
want to use
huge.
it? That was big. That was big. And
Jonghyun is still alive with all the healing opportunities he still has available, but there's no interfere opportunities for the next 30 seconds.
Oh,
And the
look
heal
at that
back
heal.
from the Jonghyun.
Don't hit him when he's in the eyes.
Oh my goodness, Hyeogu Kwon.
But you know, he was doing his combo and he's got his bit, so you know, I won't bash on too much. But you know, healing Jongho at this point, it's just
Uses the final tag point. Now, Jonghyun,
trying to grip him out of the
he
air.
should feel a little more comfortable because Shinhancard is out of the match, and this is exactly what Idis was hoping for.
1 minute mark.
Lightning draw doesn't come through. Gonna get this another aerial.
Defensive interference comes in.
now. Now Simon Kim puts that offensive effort for the last second that he's left out remaining, but Jonghyun just staying alive will do so much for this team. Yeah,
Wow.
defensive interfere coming in from Hyeogu Kwon.
45 seconds.
But freezes himself, making that interfere completely useless. Now they have no interfere for the next 37 seconds.
Yeah, and Hyeogu Kwon basically has a
He
minute
can't come
to
out.
force tag. So
Yeah.
Hyeogu Kwon is basically done until Byung-Woo Kim has to do something right now.
Yep.
He has to knock someone out because this is definitely going down to the TKO right now. Come on, do some damage, Byung-Woo Kim, if you want to have a chance.
But with the immense amount of healing that Shinhancard Kim has done before he has
Yeah.
died, this is definitely a TKO win over to Idis if they do last out until 0 second, which most likely they will. So it seems like Idis has the edge here and they completely know this fact, and even more damage to put. And that's going to be enough damage to hopefully secure this win for Idis and get us to Game 7.
Well, we'll have to see because, you know, Shinhancard Kim did die in the mid-game, so he stopped his healing, whereas Jongho Yoon kept healing.
But I predict that it's going to be Idis. They put so much more damage, and that is an
yes.
immense amount.
Wow.
120,000 plus over there.
Yeah.
And that was my second Joel analysis for the day. So prediction going right as Idis gets enough damage to win out Game 6. And now they're on to Game 7. And it's completely even from now.
Yeah, and this is what I expected from this team. I said it's never going to be a sweep. You know, to be honest, I didn't think we would go to Game 7, but now that we are, I am very happy for both teams because they are showing us what a final should look like.
And this is what both teams really deserve because they should not be going out early into the series. I think every team, these two teams that are being represented here today, they deserve every single opportunity to prove themselves time and time after again. And full 7 games was an inevitable thing for the series. And to really decide who will be the best third representative for Korea going to the World Championship, it's going to be important to pick out every little nits and bits to see who is the more capable team going into that next stage.
Exactly, and that is why I'm also very happy that this did go down to the seventh set. And right now on the replay, you know, it was pretty even until mid-late game.
That was crucial.
And Shinhancard Kim gets knocked out. But this is kind of late game where Idis did have the edge over Kureta, taking out Shinhancard Kim.
It's so unfortunate that Byung-Woo Kim had to stay up for this long time. If it was Hyeogu Kwon,
he could have interfered.
He could have interfered, and also he could have had more damage output than a Blade Dancer could have been. So very unfortunate with the situation that has uncovered for them for the side of coup d'etat. But it's all about the results, and it's back to very much even, and one more game to really decide for us who will be the third representation from Korea, and it'll be very exciting to see either coup d'etat or Idis.
One and last set until we actually jump into Worlds in 3 days.
I personally think this is more exciting than the Korea finals last day. This is so exciting because
they are fighting to go to
coup
the World
d'etat and
Championship.
Idis really both deserve it. And we've said before that coup d'etat maybe deserve it a little less, but we're going to go on to Game 7. No more speaking from us. We're going to go on straight to the game, see the result for itself to see Game 7, who will pick up the win and represent as the third team from Korea to go to World Championship. Let's get the match on the way and let's get it on. And I really want to go back to that point ending because previously when I've watched coup d'etat make their progress from season 1, season 2, and all the way to the Korea finals, I just heard so many stories about coup d'etat and the individual players. I can't even finish my sentence. There's so much damage coming up towards Hyogo Kwon on the Warlock.
I was like, you're talking, and I was looking at the screen. My eyes just got big.
But continue on from that, you know, coup d'etat. As you know, hype you were about coup d'etat and the 3 players that were in the team. The results that I've seen from coup d'etat from season 2 and onwards were very, very disappointing because they were not at to the potential that you always described to me as. But now, in this wildcards match that we saw from this day, they're definitely on another level, and definitely, I think they really just deserve it as much as IDEPS to make it to the World Championships, and just really goes out to both teams who can make the best effort and exert that last bit of energy that they really had to fatigue over. For this entire day they had to play through the wildcards. It's going to be the crucial fatigue game that each team has to face out to see who's going to be the victor of Game 7.
Yeah, that is why this is so much more exciting. Like you said, this doesn't feel like wildcards event because both of the teams definitely deserve to be in the World Champions, but only one can make it. Very sad story.
It's true, and we would like to see all 4 teams representing their Korea in the World Championship, but unfortunately, the current system has only 3 seeds for Korea, and I say only 3. The other regions only get 2, so we're very thankful for that already. So,
and Sang-ho Kim is taking the nap that he needs because he's tired.
He's tired. We're all tired too, because they took a lot of time playing a lot of Blade and Soul. And Sang-ho Kim, why does he get to rest? I don't get to rest.
Well, Byung-ho Kim is actually waiting for his tab escape to come back and forces Sang-ho Kim to use his stealth right away.
Beautiful body swap onto that stun. To the bomb bar, and Byung-ho Kim has to be using that tab escape right away, forcing out the reaction in 2v2.
Alright, Shinhancard Kim comes in. Our 2 tag points used on coup d'etat side, only 1 used for IDEPS. Health bars seem pretty even right now.
We'll continue to talk about, the 2 teams in depth, but going back to this team composition itself, coup d'etat really not giving up this Soul Fighter meta and really going for this, but taking a lot of damage with the escapes already being exerted out, and Shinhancard Kim, no escapes, and not very much health to work with either, so they have to be careful here. The defensive interfere being used, but they're being used very early compared to IDEPS, where IDEPS has saved most of their resource points already.
3 seconds for that force tag. He definitely wants to chase that. There we go.
The stun does come up.
That stun, defensive interfere, saves that escape. Nice.
Beautiful, because Duggan K didn't have to use the tab escape there, even though the stun does come up.
So that is communication right there.
Very, very good from Jung Won-yoon to make that freeze happen, just saving a very valuable tab escape there.
So now they're on an even playing field. Sang-ho Kim back on the field right now. Not coup d'etat. Shinhancard Kim has 35 seconds for that force tag. Let's see which side will be able to last or force a tag point to be used on whichever side, because Shinhancard Kim and Sang-ho Kim both have 2 tag points left.
And it's really about Sang-ho Kim, who's been playing very, very well, but the loss in Game 3 was largely due to his decision errors and really decision making of going for the familiar so aggressively, while the Warlock gave all the room to get free damage onto the Assassin. So definitely learned this lesson and proved that in Game 6, where he did contribute very well to get his team a win. But Shinhancard Kim is going to go for that stun into the aerial. So much damage coming in. Hyogo Kwon comes in right away with that force tag.
Shinhancard Kim, he goes offensive when he's about to be force tagged out. Only he would do that.
Very good for Shinhancard Kim, putting as much damage as he can before he does go back out. Now Kim goes back onto the air, forcing Jung Won-yoon to come out and freeze his teammate, save him from damage. Time distortion does come out for Hyogo Kwon.
Yeah, and Jung Won-yoon, if you notice, he has used all of his interferes, which means his teammates has been getting CC'd so many times that Jung Won-yoon had to come in with the interferes to save him 3 times already, and they still have 2 minutes and 30 seconds until they get another interfere point back.
Oh, and Sang-ho Kim uses that flower effectively. He could have been taking a lot of trouble. He didn't have to use that, so Shinhancard Kim does come in on the defensive interfere. Leads that into offensive interfere as well. I love how Shinhancard Kim comes in initially for the defensive interfere, but makes it offensive in the end.
Okay, 1 second.
Oh, the chase doesn't happen, but it's actually going to be
tags out. Shinhancard Kim comes in. He has 2 tag points, so yes, it is, it's correct for him to be out because he has no more interfere points left.
Yeah.
Same thing with Jung Won-yoon. No interfere points left. He is out on the field with that 1 tag point.
Oh, the meteor! gonna teleport over to that spot where it's away from the meteor, but Jung Won-yoon frees himself from any harm.
Yep,
Could
another
come his way.
useless interfere by Byung Kim.
Oh, and another good interfere coming in from IDEPS. Duggan Kang putting Shinhancard Kim into the air. Lightning Draw is going to put additional damage onto him. That's the huge damage going towards Shinhancard Kim now. Jung Won-yoon, very well played. But on the other end, it's going to be coup d'etat coming with the counter punch.
Shinhancard Kim, he predicted Jung Won-yoon to backstep and just followed him right there, but he had to tag out because of his health, and Byung Kim is out.
Oh,
full
Duggan
health.
Kang onto the aerial. The second aerial will come in. We won't see interfere. There's no interfere points left available for his teammates. So does Byung Kim's teammates doesn't have any interfere. So this one-on-one situation for the next 1 minute and 25 seconds, unless they decide to tag out. But no interfere is going to be coming up anytime soon.
Wow, this is, I'm getting the goosebumps right now.
It's very, very close.
Because I don't mind whichever team makes it up
It's
there.
true, yeah.
They're both very formidable, but oh gosh, this game.
Oh, the chase does come up as soon as he comes in, but not too much damage coming from that. Shinhancard Kim even saves his tab escape from that initial strike that Shinhancard Kim tried to throw out, but so much outplay. There's so much back row chase with the lightning draw, and that's gonna be enough to knock off Shinhancard Kim, and Idas might be one step closer to make it to the World Championship.
Yeah, and Hyung Kwon, come on, as a Warlock with full health, you gotta do something.
Oh my goodness.
They don't have interferes. This is your chance.
This is getting to the very crucial stage where IDEPS can beat out coup d'etat and knock off coup d'etat, just denying their chances of representing Korea in the World Championships.
Oh gosh, and it's still 3 minutes left to the game, and so much has happened.
Shinhancard Kim should not be the first player out for this match because
This is the second time.
It is the second time in a row, starting from Game 6, when all that healing opportunity is gone because there's no interfere that can come with the healing like the Soul Fighter can. So being that first man out is a crucial loss for the side of coup d'etat.
Yeah, right now Hyung Kwon definitely has to make some play out before Jung Won-yoon is force tagged out in the next 55 seconds.
This is such a great game, and I haven't seen such a good game in a very long time. This will be the finish.
This is it.
Jung Won-yoon being knocked out will be huge for coup d'etat, but doesn't get it done.
Defensive interfere comes in from Duggan Kang. Oh gosh.
Goodness.
What
Jung
will
Won-yoon
happen?
has no tag point available. Look at his health. It's gonna be good enough. He heals himself just enough to survive. And Hyung Kwon has to stay composed now. He has to finish him off.
calm.
He has to stay calm. Just
There
one
we go.
play. That is gonna be a knockout.
This is even.
Very, very close on both sides. And Hyung Kwon going up against Shinhancard Kim now.
Wow, Shinhancard Kim still has his tag point. That's amazing. He kept that tag point until
Throughout
now.
all that chaos.
Yeah, but now Hyung Kwon being force tagged out in 5 seconds, he has that interfere point to help out his teammate.
He's limiting all the distance that he can make for him, so the body swap is going to be happening. The chase will likely happen. That is go. And Byung Kim does take the initial strike from Shinhancard Kim as soon as he comes in. And Byung Kim,
knocked down.
this is that Phantom Grip though.
All right. Now, if Hyung Kwon comes in with that offensive interfere, with that one interfere left, they
Use that
might
last
be able
tag
to do
point,
it.
though. So Duggan Kang trying to limit
They have
any
30
kind
seconds.
of offensive interferes that coup d'etat can force out, because Shinhancard Kim being knocked off in this stage will be crucial.
Yeah. 20 seconds until they have to make an offensive play with Hyung Kwon's interfere before the other team gets that interfere.
This is the first
Defensive
aerial,
interfere
defensive
comes in.
interfere. So the last interfere until that next 12 seconds
Come on.
is going to be used
Oh,
defensively.
running away.
Doesn't get the knockdown.
No.
Oh, this is very,
All
very
right.
close. Duggan Kang, will he make something happen here?
All right, 2 seconds until they get their interfere points back.
They do get their interfere points
Now
now.
it's evened up.
Shinhancard Kim, Hyung Kwon, they have their interfere points to use it either offensively or defensively. We'll see what choices they make depending on the situation.
Wow. Blade Dancer mirror, and they are staying.
And look at their health bars.
Yeah.
So even. If it goes to the TKO, I have no idea who's going to win.
Wow. They're just, playing boomerang.
Oh,
catching.
the interfere does come in. It's going to be offensive interfere. Shinhancard Kim puts in a little bit of damage. That's a lot of damage coming to Byung Kwon. And there's nothing that Hyung Kwon could do with that time he has remaining. Hyung Kwon has to come in. Now the lightning draw coming into the aerial. Into the aerial. This might be it.
This is
so much
it.
damage coming
This
in.
is it.
Will it be knocking
Knockout.
That's going to be knocking off the Duggan Kang. And this might be the difference maker for the last 15 seconds. And this might be the end of items. Believe it or not.
This is what Hyung Kwon
Oh,
was
my
saving that
goodness.
interfere point for. And as long as,
Oh,
now Byung Kim has
my
that interfere point
gosh.
and he is on the bench. and
It
Hyung
is over.
Kwon
I think
out.
coup d'etat did win out this
Yeah.
one. How did they turn it around?
Wow.
We thought that as soon as Shinga Kim died out, we thought it was a sure win
Yeah.
for IDES, but with Jung Woo-yoon being knocked off. Let's look. Oh my! What?
Whoa!
60,000 difference. That's very small. What?
Considering they're doing hundreds of thousands of damage, 60,000 isn't that much of a difference.
Oh my goodness.
Wow. Wow. The first Worlds without Shingyang Kim and Hyung
That is a huge news that we have to announce that Coup d'etat, Hyung Kwon, Shinga Kim will not be in Worlds this year.
Oh my goodness. That was amazing. And I saw the crowds all clapping and just screaming. I don't know if you guys heard it, but that was amazing. And my voice is about...
I'm gone.
It's about... I was screaming
Good
so
thing,
much.
Good thing I don't have cast them all because
Yeah.
I used all of my voice for this
Yeah.
one. It's completely worth it.
Yeah, it was... Wow, that was definitely one of the best games that I've seen in a very long time.
Might be the best game I've ever
Yeah.
seen from me casting Blade and Soul, and Coup d'etat,
Wow.
the improved Coup d'etat going up against the solid, strong IDEPs. Was an
Yeah.
interesting question that we threw out at those guys. They answered the question very even as we expected, all the way to Game 7. IDEPs were behind for the early parts of the series, but they won game after game in the later parts to bring us to Game 7. And we even thought in the end, with two-man being knocked out for the side of IDEP, we thought it was going to be the end of them.
So basically, the bottom line of this match is Soul Fighter Heal is OP.
It is.
Because Shingyang Kim got knocked out, and you know they also took out two players like you mentioned, Joel, and they still were down, or they still had less damage compared to IDEPs.
And another implication that we can add to that is that Shin Kim died out much earlier than Jung Woo-yoon. So it just gave Jung Woo-yoon to do more damage as that third man, whereas Coup d'etat didn't have that third man available. So just that little 30 seconds or so when Jung Woo-yoon was more alive than what they were, that was a difference maker. And just the desk is a complete mess. I was just throwing around papers, and there's papers on the ground, and wonderful match to decide, and IDEPs completely deserving of that third and final spot. We didn't think it would go this crazy to decide it all, but we have our third representative of Korea, and it is IDEPs.
Yep, it is. And Shingyang Kim, the two-time world champion winner, will not be joining us as a player in this year's Worlds.
I mean, the interview showed us Coup d'etat, Shinga Kim. He has mentioned in the interview, what is Worlds without Shinga Kim?
Yeah.
We have it here.
Yeah. Now we will feel Worlds without Shingyang Kim this year. See what it's like.
You know, Coup d'etat, we give all the props to them because they definitely have improved since the Korea finals. And with Yeonu Kim coming to the team, the adjustment for that new teammate forming into the team was very much a success. And I would like to congratulate them on that. But IDEPs, so strong.
Yeah.
Especially with Seo Kim, Jung Woo-yoon, and Dongin Kang. All three guys doing so spectacularly, so consistently. It's such a huge difference maker, and we saw them find so much success in Korea finals. They do it again in the wildcards.
Yep, and on the screen for you guys last time, remember the time and dates. This is in Korean Standard Time. We will start the round of 16 for World Championship on Wednesday, September 20th at 1400 KST.
Hey, you know, but all these times in the schedule is very confusing because there's a lot of random numbers. And but if you want to keep updated and want us to, I will always tweet out the times and the schedules for when the World Champion is happening each day. So if you want to follow us on Twitter, you can do so. You can just search up Joel Sophie or Ending Live to really see an update on. You're gonna follow every action of the World Championship 2017. But finally, we have the decider. We have the team decided for the World Championship, and it will be IDEPs coming over Coup d'etat to get that third and final spot. And we'll be back on Wednesday to start off the essential part of 2017 World Championship. You'll get to see your favorite teams from your favorite region represented all in Korea to bout to see who's the best team in the world.
Yeah, and now we had enough of Korea. Now I am so excited for Worlds to see other regions, especially NA and EU, like we mentioned over and over again. And, you know, I hope my voice returns by the time we had to cast on Wednesday.
We'll force it to come back to us.
Yeah, but today was an amazing day.
Such an amazing day. I did not expect this much excitement heading towards the finals of the wildcards, but with such a long day that you guys had to stick with us. Thank you for staying around with us to watch the entire day of Blade and Soul. We'll be back on Wednesday to come back with the World Championship 2017. So we'll see you then.
You left me with no choice, my back's against the wall, trapped in the corner like some kind of animal. We started off incredible, connection undeniable. I swear I thought you were the one forever. Your love was like a loaded gun. You shot me down like everyone. 'Cause everyone's replaceable when you're just so incapable of getting past it. Whoa, guess what? Another game over. I've learned that you're the real loser. I don't know why I wasted my time with you. Whoa, the bad news, the history repeater. You can't trust a serial cheater. You couldn't hook it up, but you suck at love. You suck at love. You played me like an amateur, then stabbed me like a murderer. I'm left for dead, another one of your victims. It's not like you're unpredictable, but your act is so believable. I know it's nothing personal, it's just business as usual. You're good at what you do. Another game over. I got burned, but you're the real loser. I don't know why I wasted my time with you. The bad news, the history repeater. You can't trust a serial cheater. You couldn't hook it up, but you suck at love. You suck at love. And now I kinda feel bad for you. You're never gonna know what it's like to have someone to turn to. Another